2023. It's going to be a huge season. In fact, it already got underway 10 days ago with the night series, but there's more matches, there's more surprises, more internationals, and more action, that's for sure. So settle in. We've got 4 weeks to start the ECS adventure here in Malta. I'm Mr. Maximo. This is the FanCode European Cricket Series Malta 2023, and it starts right now. Good morning to you wherever you're watching from around the world. Welcome to another big year in European cricket, or ECS cricket at least. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, with you for the European Cricket Network. Great to have your company. It's great to be back. And we are here in Malta. It was a slightly a late, I suppose, necessary decision to move the ECS here for the first 4 weeks of the season. We're certainly really excited to be here. And I'll be with you for the first 3 weeks of this tournament. And Corey Ruckers, he'll be with me in a little bit. But right now, just a little bit of an update with match 1 between Gozo Zalmi and Malta Day. So there are 10 teams involved in this tournament, and they'll be playing each other in double round robin format before finals at the end of the 4th week. First things first, let's see what happened at the toss. We had Tyrone Peters with the 2 captains, and let's see who won the toss in match number 1. Wherever you're watching from around the world, welcome to a huge year in European cricket for the ECS. Actually, we are starting our day series here in Malta. It was a slight change of plans, but certainly really excited to be here. We know there's a lot of enthusiastic cricketers and cricket lovers here on the island, and we're looking forward to bringing you 4 weeks of action. So it'll be 4 matches a day here in Malta, and don't forget as well, we have the night series in Gibraltar, so you'll actually get 6 matches of cricket action today on ECN. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo. Great to be with you for, well, what I think will be the biggest and best season yet in European cricket. So we're going to kick things off here in Malta with a brand new team, actually. It's Gozo Zalmi who are taking on Malta Day in match 1. Let's see what happens at the coin toss. Tyrone Peters is with the 2 captains.
Malta Day to call. That's your heads. Sorry, that's your heads. That's your tails. Head. Head's the call. It is a head.
So there you saw it from the toss. Excuse me for coming at you twice. But it was Malta Day who won the toss, and they've elected to bowl first here in match 1. Now, since we had the toss, we've had some issues with some drainage not really happening as we would have hoped. And that has forced a delayed start here to opening day, which isn't what we wanted to see. We're really hopeful we can get some cricket on. Let's just have a look at the 2 teams while we go. And you can see that Malta Day, 4-4. Last time before being knocked out in the quarterfinals. Butha Kamaran's there, captain. Cornelius Yunus behind the stumps for them today. Good left-hander, Azim Santi at the top of the order. He's certainly one to watch. And just spotted in there Samuel Stanislaus as well, listed at number 4. He's a very hard-hitting batter. Gozo Zalmi brand new, but these guys, they're no amateurs. Great to see Glenn Tavilla back, but we're really watching Zishan Khan there, but I know he's struggling with a bit of an injury at the moment. Bilal Khan, for me, he is the game changer for Gozo Zalmi. We've seen him playing a lot of good cricket for the Maltese national team. He's a fiery left-arm opening bowler, but also a hard-hitting batter. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens between these 2 teams if and when we're able to get them onto the park. So what we're going to do at the moment, I think, while we get some resolution to this, is that there's a bunch of options here. Where we could have a delayed start. We could potentially have a postponement of the game if we can't quite get things sorted at the moment. And yeah, I'm just trying to get the latest information for you. But I'll tell you what, while we sort this out, we are going to take you to something. And, well, I'm really looking forward to seeing this. But look, actually, I've just got the information right here that matches 1 and 2, unfortunately, have been postponed to a later date, which means we won't have any cricket in the first half of the day, but we are hoping to get on for match 3 a little bit later in the day. So you're getting it live here. But what I will tell you is I've got some great cricket for you to watch this morning. I'll be back then live in around about, it'll be about 4 hours then. That's the plan at least to get on for match 3. But I'm not going to leave you without any cricket. I am going to take you to the ECC last year. We're in Malta, so I thought, why don't we show Malta's debut in the ECC? And this is match 2 of Group C against Luxembourg. And I can tell you the news from the toss in this one is that Malta, their captain Bikram Arora, won the toss and elected to bat. And so we are going to see Darshit Patanka, the tank, out there with Basil George. Mohit Dixit for Luxembourg will be opening the bowling. So we're going to take you a step back in time. I'll be back. I'll be in the chat. Thanks again so much to everyone for the input so far. I'll try and interact a bit on the chat just to keep you up to date and just have a chat so we can catch up. I've enjoyed watching cricket from Gibraltar so far, of course. Charlie and Rico over there at the moment. So let's go back to this classic match to the beautiful Khartoum, where we will be in around about 4 weeks' time for the start of ECL 23. But the first voice you'll hear will be that of Rico Four. We'll be back here with any action very shortly in Malta as well. So enjoy this classic match on the European Cricket Network.
Cricket. Very good morning to you, our global cricket family. Hope you've enjoyed the start of Group C and fairly easy win, I would say, there from Belgium. Didn't probably get as many runs that it would like on the board, but winning and beating France by 17 runs. This one, I think, is going to be a cracker. Malta making their debut in the European Cricket Championship, and they're up against Luxembourg, a team that we did see last time around, but they had a difficult start. Remember last time they were a team that, they were a late call-up to the event because of a dropout at the last moment, and they probably came into the championship in 2021 a little bit unprepared, but they're prepared this time. Just a quick look at that. Malta, making the debut. Well, the bat versus ball wall is saying 106 to 84 in favour of them, and that's probably because of what happened last time round, as I was talking about with the Luxembourg. They played 7 matches, lost all 7, and the only points that they got was because of one no result. So, but I can say this, and certainly speaking to Tony Whiteman, who is a manager stroke coach, he was saying that this time round that is a much stronger and better team. They've had time to prepare, and he's thinking and very confident that they're going to do well. But nice to see Vinny Sandhu there, still with the kids of the International College in Marbella, the British International College of Marbella. And those kids have had a fantastic time, being out there in the middle, and they've been there with Vinny, and I had some fun with them as well, as we had them signalling 4s and 6s. They were doing a little bit of ballet as well. And it's always great, isn't it? And that is the European Cricket Network, Cricket's cool package. It's about introducing kids here in Spain, especially here on the Costa del Sol, to all of the main disciplines of cricket. But the main thing is making cricket fun. And they're certainly having a lot of fun. A shout out to Danny Dolkaye and Alistair, as well as Jay Wild and Kevin as well, who've been working very hard with the kids and putting them through their paces. You see there, they're just having a bit of time to take on some fluids before, I'm pretty sure, they'll be back in the action once more. But it was nice to see them hitting the balls around. As there's Ken Weston. It's Daniel Weston, the founder of European Cricket Network's father, and he's there with our groundsman. And David there as well. So it's great to see that they're having and enjoying a bit of time in the fan zone as we prepare and get ready for what promises to be an interesting match. I mean, it's been a fantastic start to this European Cricket Championship. I mean, just give you some stats. I mean, this is how amazing it has been. So in Group A, we saw 4,970 runs, and we know that that group was won by Spain. So Spain, we know, have booked their place in the Champions League, which starts on the 10th of October. And what about Group B? Well, first of all, wickets, 272 in Group A. Group B, that got completed last week, and it was the Netherlands who went undefeated all the way through. They were, in that group, 5,347 runs. And number of wickets, exactly the same as Group A. Quite amazing, 272. So total runs we've had is 10,317. And that's before the start of today. But what's amazing is, and this is something that is surprising everybody, is the amount of runs that have been scored in boundaries. In sixes alone, 49% of the runs scored in Group A, and 50% of Group B were in 60s. That's quite extraordinary. Boundaries in total, 73% of all runs that have been scored have been in boundaries. That's been absolutely remarkable. Well, we see the groups there. So Group C, Scotland, Belgium. We just saw Belgium and France out there, and then also now we're seeing Malta and Luxembourg. So waiting to see Scotland as well. Scotland also making their debut, and I can tell you that they will be playing France in match number 3 in Group C. So that one's still to come. And after this group, now the final group, Group D next week, Italy, Germany, Norway, Romania and Switzerland. Well, those are 5 nations still to come. It's going to be absolutely extraordinary. It's another beautiful day. So you've been looking at the sights that we see. Myself, Rico Full, Corey Ruckers and Vinny Sandy, the good time crew here up in the Dream Box. The side of this magnificent Cardamom Oval. It's nestled between the Sierra de Cardamom. Well, there are umpires for this match number 2. Stefan Gooch and Nilkesh Patel. And the men in black leading out the teams, leading out the fielding side first. And it will be Luxembourg, Malta, who's there from the coin toss, winning the toss and electing to have a bat first. Malta also making their debut here. I mentioned that Scotland making their debut, but so is Malta as well, and France as well. So in this group, 3 teams making their debut. It's going to be interesting to see how it go. You saw there that Belgium obviously using their previous experience in the championship last year, where they finished runners-up. So we just saw the runners-up last year, victorious against France. So France, look, they will no doubt be better for being out there in the middle and getting that one game out of the way. And youth on their side as well, a team with an average age of 20. Malta, well, we spent on the European Cricket Network has spent a fair bit of time going to Malta for the European Cricket Series that we've had there. And, well, they've got an array of talented players, and putting them all together for this national team, I think if they click, they are very capable of producing 1 or 2 surprises. They certainly are. And I think there's a positive mood in the camp. It's also a positive move there from Vikram Vijay, the captain, who is elected to have a bat first. So we're getting ready to start. Luxembourg, though, like I said, they are all about
maybe another 3.
All about showing us how much they can improve, and they're looking to make a good start here. Vikram Arora, captain of Malta, of course. They're hoping that his team can make a very good positive start. They've got some very good players as well. Looks like it's going to be a very powerful man on strike to start off with. The 2 openers out there at the moment. Bowler waits. We wait for the start of this. Match 2 in Group C. It's waiting for official timekeeper, Frederica Constant, to give us the go-ahead. See, Basil George is there at the non-striker's end. And it's a shit Patanka to face the first delivery. And Baja is the call straight away. Good throw, direct hit. Well, he had to be quick. Now they are going upstairs to just have a look here to see if Basil gets in safely. Let's have a look. It's going to be an interesting one. So I suspect he does get in, but it's always good, I think, while the technology is there. Yeah, gets the bat down. It's always good just to double check. Stefan Gooch preferring to, I think, use the technology just to back up what he saw. So runs on the board straight away. Basil George wants to go big straight away, and he just gets it right. And the bowler, you can see there, thinking, oh, only nearly. And well, Mohit Dixit thought for a moment he was eyeing up the first wicket, but Basil George, well, we've seen him at, well, the Malta International Cricket Ground many a time, play these sort of shots. A powerful player, a good hitter. Once he gets in the groove, Oh, he can hurt you pretty well. That's a nice shot. First boundary, 6 runs to start for him. And he's looking to go for another, but this time, well, the fielder comes in and then goes out, and then, well, I think he cooks this. The umpire's just checking. I think this may have gone all the way for 6. He seems to have lost this. He comes in a long way from the outfield, and then it's almost like the ball continues on going. It surprises him. Let's have a look where this lands. Just bounces. Look, it leaves a divot. So well, he's going to be pretty disappointed, the fielder there. That's got to go down as an opportunity. Well, if Dixit was disappointed before, he's going to be even more disappointed there. George could have gone for 6 of his second delivery. Instead, he's got 2 6s to his name, and now he's taking on the fielder. In comes the throw. This one would have been pretty close. Oh, I think this is close, you know. I think if this hits, he could have been in trouble. Looks like that was Thomas Martin doing the fielding. Dunker. On strike, and he's gone. Well, he plays all round this. I think he may have got a little bit of an inside edge on this as well. It wasn't a good looking shot from Darchit Patanka, and he goes. So the tank has been removed, and Dixit probably feels that he should have had the wicket off for Basil George, a fielder, just misjudging the ball that went out to him in the long off position, but he does get the wicket off Patank. Yeah, there is an inside edge. He's looking to play this on the leg side rather than hit straight through the ball, and as a result of that, he ends up chopping it back onto his stumps. So disappointment for Patanka. Got a tank, and he goes for just 1 of 1 delivery. And, well, he's getting plenty of support there from his teammates, and you know, I think that's important for Malta here. You know, they are making their international debut in this this format of the game, so they're going to have to encourage each other. There's going to be a bit of a learning process here as well. And the thing is, as we always say, it doesn't use up too many balls. Now Samuel Stanislaus is coming in now. He's a batter that has scored a mountain of runs in Malta.
Great finish, Mo. Great finish,
very good player on the international scene as well.
Really nice, Mo hit.
Stanislaus gets off the mark straight away. He's a correct player, but has got the aggression that's required in this format as well. So first over comes to an end. We'll just have a quick look at the profile of this group. Those rankings are based on ICC T20. Scotland, yet to see them. Everybody wants to know what they're going to be all about. But Belgium there, they're second in the rankings there. But then you can see, look, just 8 points separating France, Malta and Luxembourg. This is why I think this group is going to be, I think it's going to be very similar to what we saw in Group B. 2 teams may be dominating, and the other 3 are going to be very close to each other. Going to be very difficult to call. France have been out there. I think they will be better for that experience with Belgium, and they'll be pretty positive, restricting a very strong, powerful Belgium team to a score under 100. But obviously they know that they need to work on the batting just a little bit, need to be just a little bit more aggressive. And this is nicely played. There's a chase on here for the fielder. He should get there, it does. And they're taking on the 2. He's going to saw, well, a better throw maybe. Would have been in a little bother here with Stanislaus, but he does get there. Thomas Martin, the bowler. It's a good delivery. Nice, strong, tall man. Comes in and hits the deck hard, doesn't he? Gets that one to come through. Good delivery. Good areas to Stanislaus. Extra cover back on the boundary. And also long on, it's the field, the 2 men back. This one, he gives him a little bit of width, but too much. Stanislaus opts to play for it, plays and misses, but he does get the wide. And the Namaste, Salam Alaikum, Sas Sri Akal, and eyeball one to everybody watching on the sub-Indian continent. And happy Navratri, I will say, to all of our Hindu viewers. Hope you have a wonderful Navratri celebration.
Easy, Mo, easy, Mo.
Take a single. Yeah, Navratri here today. Also, International Day of European Languages. So observing this day is to inform people about the benefits of learning new languages and diversifying the languages learnt to increase intellectual understanding. So yeah, a couple of important days here today. And he goes for the Yorker, but just gets it wrong to the left-hander. A wide ball. Thomas going to get it right to the left-hander. Comes in once more. And a bit of an edgy shot. Goes to the man behind square who does well. Gets down, doesn't let this get past him, but the batters do take a single. Trying to be aggressive. But not quite getting it right. So Stanislaus now gets on strike. George moves to 12 of just 4 deliveries. Goes for the pitch duck delivery as well. Maybe this one just slightly slower to Stanislaus, who punches this out to long on. Picks up the single. Got a nice action, does Martin. Come on to some of the viewers that can communicate with us. Who does he look like? He reminds me of a bowler, this action. Just look at the way that, yeah, see the head just tilted to one side. Definitely somebody. Well, this one is gone big. Balle. Nice hit from Basil George. That's what he does best, and he blasts this over that man at long on. What a big clean hit. Bang. Boom blastic. 6 runs. And a good finish to the over. And that takes the score on to 26. Basil George. Well, we've seen him do it in Malta, and now he's trying to do it here in the middle, here in this splendid ground in Malaga, the Cardamom Oval. The sun is shining, and it looks beautiful. Well, it's looking pretty good for Belgium as well. The team that were runners-up last year, winning their first match against France. France making their debut, so they're the first team to have the points in the group. Top of the standings at the moment. Rico Full here, the European Cricket Network. You're watching the Dream 11 Championships here. It's the Euros of cricket, and alongside me is the one, the only, the legendary Vinny Sandhu.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to be back, Rico. Looking forward to seeing these two teams both without a win in ECC cricket. That's until this match.
Stanislaus hasn't quite got his mojo yet, but
I'm sure you've mentioned already, Rico, you spent a lot of time in Malta.
Yeah.
You know these players really well. You must be really excited to see them on the international stage in T10 cricket.
Yeah, absolutely, I am, and I think also excited to see them playing this format at international level. I know they've played T20, they've done pretty well. They've had some good results in the past 18 months. I mean, the amount of cricket that Malta have been playing internationally has been huge. But seeing them play this level, because we know a lot of their players, and I think this suits some of their players,
Easy, Marcus, easy, Marcus.
Basil going for another big hit, but he doesn't quite get the timing right here. So it's Dhingra who's bowling.
Yeah, it's been exciting watching Malta's progress.
Good this, Amit.
And I know all of these players have had some success in ECS cricket, which is the domestic T10 that we cover on the European Cricket Network. But it's a bit different, I suppose. Next level up.
A bit of appeal here. I think it's the wicketkeeper goes up first, and Fibaka, which then sort of starts a reply or a response from the bowler. But it's a good delivery. But I don't think this catches anything on the way through. No, it doesn't. But just playing down the wrong line here. That's low. Samuel just struggling a little bit here.
Yeah, love that.
Well bowled, and good areas from Amit Dhingra here.
Yeah, pretty well bowled, wasn't it? Just finding that sweet spot just inside the tram line.
Is this out again? Not quite clean out the middle of the bat. Comes down as low, so he picks up another single and a good over from Dingra, just conceding the 3 runs. But that's exactly what you need. Not what Malta needed in the power play. That means that they're going to finish 29 for 1 at the end of 3.
Yeah, so probably a few less than Malta would have wanted. But one thing I noticed is that there's a fearless approach to this game from players that have played it before. So Malta won't take a backward step. They're going to go for their shots. They know that's the only way to victory. Can't be too conservative. A pretty good third over there, just getting things back under control. And I'm going to say Dingra provided a bit of relief for Luxembourg. Only 3 runs coming off the third.
Yeah, he certainly did. Just what he did. New bowler getting ready to come on now. Of course, the power play completed, so he just he's got the freedom now to have 5 men outside the 30-yard circle. And hey, look, why don't we take the opportunity to give our congratulations to Catalonia CC, who were winners of the EC10. And, well, they weren't just winners. I mean, they were just blazing every way. And they were record breakers.
They were. The highest score of the year so far in ECN cricket, 219 off the 10 overs. Very, very close to that 223, which would have been a record. 222 is the existing record, set by VSC Rotterdam.
And we saw a century.
131.
Yep.
Not out.
100
Huge.
127 balls, and that's the fastest.
Fastest we ever had in ECN, 27 balls. Muhammad Amgan Khan, Big Mac. Anyway, here we go with over number 4. It's Vikram Vij.
Edge. And we'll get the single.
Good start, Vic.
You can see that the fielder, Tony Whiteman, is in exactly the right place there. So a bit of luck. You can't say this is a chance really for the keeper. I think it's one of those, Vinny, that you often say it either hits you and it catches you or it gets past you.
Didn't even hit Barker. Missed him. And so I think you can't do much about that. I do like the kind of up to the stumps
Good start, Vic.
tactics here. We don't see a lot of batters ramping a lot, which is why you don't see it as much at the top level now.
Captain on to bowl here. So Vikram, Vijay. And this one has been launched into, this goes all the way. Ginna Sona, Ginna Badda, Shaka time again from Basil George. Well, he seems to be keeping this innings on the move. It's another 6 from him. This is just in the slot where he likes it. Good hit from him over mid-wicket, over the cow corner part of the ground. 6 more to George.
Yeah, what a good shot that is. Just came into his powerhouse there, didn't it? Comeback ball from Vikram.
Hit hard down the ground, and this is going to be 6 more. This one's clatters into the boundary markers there. What a hit this is. Straight. This is a bit of a rocket shot. And Basil George, well, we know about Basil's. Basil's goes boom, boom, and that's exactly what Basil George is doing. Boom, boom. Yeah. 2 out of 2.
We've seen this in Malta, haven't we? At the Master Cricket Ground. That's their MCG. Right now, they're at the home of European cricket, and Basil's looking powerful.
Slower delivery, but it makes no difference because this one goes all the way as well. Bolle. Manos arriba, arbitro, porque eso es 6 carreras más.
Now, boom, boom, Basil is in business right now. And he does go boom, boom, boom. And this is getting out of hand now after a quiet third over from Dingra that only went for 3. We've seen 3 sixes in 3 balls now. Malta climbing towards 50.
And this could be another. Yes, it is. And, well, watch out up in the tower. But I don't know who's up there from Spring Productions. Well, this is coming your way. And Basil George has, he's lit up the Cardamom Oval here. A bit of Cardamania going on here in the middle.
Wow, that is absolutely slammed. I think that's the best of the lot. It was the straightest. It was the longest. And the camera operator didn't have to worry too much about that because it was well over them. George climbing into the 4. What is that now? 37, pardon me. 37 off just 9 balls.
Captain Vijay has gone magical already.
It's the length though, slot length. Got to pitch it up.
And, George just looking to paddle this one away and maybe take the single. So easy gets a dot there, but not before. The captain, Vikram, his over goes magical. The 50 also came up in that over. And they needed a bit of acceleration, didn't they? Especially after that really good over from Dingra. And that was the acceleration. And it came, unfortunately, off the bowling of the captain. 54 for 1 after 4 overs.
Yeah, so got to say, I like the comeback, I suppose, at the end of the over. It was a bit too little too late for Vikramvich, wasn't it? Because he tries the slower ball. Basil, I think just looking for a single there to keep the strike, because he's on a heater right now. Samuel Stanislaus not hitting him as cleanly so far, but 54 for 1 after 4. Malta looking the goods now.
Certainly are. I liking the kids. The kids are getting involved now. I was working on them a little bit, Vinny.
I was going to ask you about this.
They've got the old
you
going in.
You have
and,
done a great job with the kids from the English College, English International College of Marbella this morning.
They're loving it. They're in the action here now. You can hear them. I hope you can pick them up and be okay here. Here we go. And well, now it's Samuel Stanislaus' turn to go. He's been a little bit slow, hasn't he? And before that shot, he was 8 of 11. This is more like it. We know Stanislaus is a little bit more correct, but he does have the power. And this is a lovely shot. It looks effortless, doesn't it? Yeah. Just a lovely pickup and goes over the leg side boundary. 6 more from him. Malta starting to look dangerous here.
Yeah, it was just with the spin, wasn't it? It's Marcus Cope coming on. I do like the kind of tactics to go to a slow bowler now, but you've got to get it right, and especially that fan zone boundary under attack. You don't want to get too straight to Samuel Stanislaus.
So this time he just guides it down. Clever batting from Stanislaus. I mean, just hit his first 6. Good shot it was as well, but he knows that Basil is hot. Basil is on fire, so he just guides this one down into that third man territory, takes a single and says, here you go, Basil, go do your business. 43 of just 11 deliveries so far, Basil George. And the younger Marcus Cope to bowl to him now.
Yeah, left hand up. Let's see if Cope likes this or not. Thing is, Basil's in a mood.
Just elects to bat onto ball, takes the single. So it's nice from both these batters. I mean, they're both capable of playing big shots, but they're also respecting a good ball as well. This partnership, it's flourishing, isn't it? 50 runs now between these two.
I think they've been really selective about what they've gone after. I think that's smart. And it's backing their eye, backing their instincts, their attacking instincts now.
Well, this is not the best of deliveries, but I think this catches the pad, but really it's a missed opportunity from Stanislaus. I mean, it's a Gundy full toss on the leg side. Should have been whacked away.
Goes the round arm here, I think, Cope. Tries to get wide of the crease and get even wider with his arm angle, but yeah, was asking for it. I think Stanislaus is upset he hasn't put that away.
George goes for it. Doesn't get enough of it. I don't think so. Fielder comes in and should have taken the catch. So Basil George, he gets lucky again. You know, there was an opportunity to get him out when he was on 6, and the fielder just doesn't get there. And this is another one that really should be taken. I think there's Anoop Ulsrud who gets it all wrong there.
It is. It was right in the bread basket there. Huge moment as George gets a life. Back to Samuel.
That's to catch it, and is the fielder going to get there? No, he doesn't. It's got to be said, it's going to be a difficult one, but it's half a chance, and you've got to take them. So both batters within balls of each other have given a chance to both get put down. George was the first, offering a chance on 44. So now that one there from Stanislaus. So both getting a bit of luck. Hay poquito de suerte por los dos bateadores, but they're going nicely. The score moves to 65 for 1 at the halfway point.
Yeah, it is the halfway point. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo. Rico full in the commentary box for the first time today. Rico, well, obviously you saw match 1. It was the opener for Group C between Belgium and France. Give us your thoughts about that. Belgium running out narrow victors.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, Belgium, remember, runners up last year. You'd expect them to know this format and play well, and obviously they won the match. But I was encouraged with France's performance. I think they bowled really well at Belgium, and being it's there making the debut as well, I think they didn't win the match, but it was for them, I think it was a good positive start. And talking about a positive start, this is a good positive start also from Malta as they just find and keep those boundaries coming. It's a little bit too short and gets whipped away. So another nice shot. And Stanislaus, he took a while to get going, didn't he? But now he's finding his range and he's finding the boundary.
Really key partnership after the early loss of Dasha Patanka, who is known as the Tank.
The Tank, yeah.
We had a Tank from the Czech Republic as well.
In the air, chance, and this time it is taken. And this one's a lot easier for Dixit. He had a chance to remove Stanislaus earlier. Well, Stanislaus, he doesn't punish them too much. He was dropped on, well, I think he was on 11 at the time, and he goes on to go for 16 of that. His 15th delivery. So well done to Shiv Karan Gill, who takes the wicket.
Yeah, and he wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. I don't know if it was a catch, the last one that went in that direction, but he couldn't quite get there. But this time, Mohit Dixit does the rest. End of a good partnership. And it is Stanislaus who has to go for 20 with a 4 and a 6 in there as well. And Malta lose a second wicket. It's 69 for 2.
Yeah, I mean, well done. The catches get taken. That will give them a bit of confidence. They needed to break that partnership. It was a good partnership. 50 plus runs. And Samuel Stanislaus, well, he gets a warm round of applause as he gets himself in. And, well, he's going to be replaced by the tall figure of another left-hander. This looks like it's Varun Prasad who's coming out. Varun also playing the role as the, I think he's part of the coaching staff, so player manager.
Right.
Prasad.
Okay, well, Varun is a guy that can smack it a long way, but Willie, Shiv Karan Gill comes in and gets smacked a long way into the jungle. Maximo right on cue. Prasad off to the races. His first ball in ECC cricket is a 6.
Yeah, well, you can tell that myself and Vinny have spent a fair bit of time in Malta together. We know some of these players really well. And Varun Prasad, well, I tell you what, if you put it there to him, he will smash it. Now, be interesting to see how he's developed, because one of his flaws sometimes is a ball coming into his pads. That's where he sometimes has got it wrong. Well, this time he goes straight, and this is big. He's 6 more. Well, Varun Prasad, he comes out and he wants to say, well, Basil, whatever you can do, I can do. 2 left-handers out there, 2 big hitters. Boom, boom. And that's another 6, a 2 in 2. So, well, Karan Gill starts well and now finds that Varun comes out and he's liking his bowling.
Yeah.
24. Stanislaus, he played his part as well, didn't he, with that 20. Of 13 deliveries, but it was a good then partnership between George and Varun Prasad. They got them to this good high score. Looking at the bowlers, several bowlers used. They used 6 bowlers in the first 6, so everybody bowled an over before the captain decided who he wanted to bring back. But 1 or 2 of those were, well, 1 of the 3 of those went for plenty, didn't they? I think there are a couple of magical overs in there as well. And the captain himself, Vikram Vijay, he was the first to go magical. And then, well, William Pope also went for 22 of his over as well. So Malta certainly putting on some pressure on the Luxembourg side here. Luxembourg, remember, they have got T10 experience. And they've come out here with, they would believe, a stronger, better side. So I'm expecting to see something special from them with the bat as well. But it's going to have to be something special if they're going to get to 148 for victory. Well, that's have a look at the wagon wheel there of Basil George. You can see that he hit the ball to most parts of the ground in front of the bat, didn't he? Only the one run towards square leg, but all the other, look, you have a look. I mean, they would call that the V, wouldn't they? He's hitting the ball in the V. You can see through the covers, through long on, long off, as well as mid-wicket. That is a pretty good innings from Basil George, the powerful hitter. And Varun Prasad also did very well. There you go, just falling short of his 50. But once again, very similar to George. You can see where he hit a lot of his runs. So 1 or 2 square leg because of those short deliveries that he was able to put away. So Rico Ball here of the European Cricket Network, of course, with Mr. Maximo. We're going to take about a 10-minute break before we come back to the conclusion of this match. It's the second one of the start of Group C. Malta making their debut. They've been impressive with the bat. They put 147 on the board. Luxembourg, they need 148 for victory. Which way will it go? There's only one way to find out. Come back and join us in 10 minutes time for the conclusion of this match. Volvemos en 10 minutos.
Hello and welcome back to the Costa del Sol. This is the Dream 11 European Cricket Championship. 21 European cricket nations converging here in Spain for the Euros of cricket. It's fast-paced, it's action-packed, it's one of a kind, and you're watching it right here on the European Cricket Network, on FanCode in the Indian subcontinent, and all of our international broadcast partners. Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo, for ECN today with you, as we are watching two teams without a win in ECC cricket. Malta, this is their very first game. They've gone out and cracked 147 off their 10 overs. Luxembourg, well, they were here last year, but slightly under strength. They only took a single point away from their 8 matches. That was the result of a washout. So right now, see William Cope opening the batting. He won't be facing. It'll be Tim Barker, the keeper, who will be on strike for the first ball. Bilal Khan, very lively left armour to get us going. So sit back, relax, and let's try and keep you cool. And cricket will run into the night here at Khartoum as well. Let's get rolling. 148, an epic chase it would be if Luxembourg can pull it off. But first, here's Bilal. This is in the air and could be caught on a couple of accounts, really. That was the hero from the first innings, Basil George, who got 2 hands to it. And he almost pushes this to the fielder next door, Aldous Matthew. Wow, what an action-packed start. You can see he gets two hands to it, and it loops just past his neighbour. That was single to start us off. Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo, in the box. Joining me once again, Rico Full. Rico, what a start that could have been for the Maltese.
Yeah, what a start it could have been indeed. Bilal Khan could have got his first T10 international wicket off his very first delivery. We know he's a very exciting young man, great bowler. And he's one man that can really get those Yorkers going. I mean, it's the way he bowls sometimes, you know, he reminds me, especially the line he bowls and the way he gets the ball to move, reminds me a lot of Mohammed Cameron. And there you go, that's what I'm talking about. You see, it's that line. I mean, we know Hitman Cameron, who played, of course, for Spain in Upe. Probably doesn't have, well, he's not as young as Bilal, so he hasn't got the run-up that Bilal has, but he gets the ball to shape in just like that, the left armour.
He's a little bit, I don't know what the word is, he's quite unpredictable with what he's going to do with the ball as well, Bilal. I mean, stock delivery does straighten down the line, but occasionally he'll do something a little bit different, a little bit special. He's bowling to Cope, yet to score.
That one just ends up being a little bit too quick, I think, for Cope. Gets pad onto it. Very big hello to men that are watching from Malta. Our good friends, Indica Pereira, who's the chairman of Maltese cricket. And also Johnny G, our good friend, Johnny G. Hello, Johnny. Nice to see that you're tuning in, and thank you both for your lovely wishes. And 2 very key men in Maltese cricket, Indica and Johnny G.
Big hello to you guys. We're missing you. Looking forward to seeing you, actually, before too long on your home turf. But right now, eyes fixed in the middle of the Khartoum Oval. And this one really does bend from Bilal. Just have a look at the swing on this.
Great bowling. I mean, just look at the rhythm, Vinny. You know, he excited me the first time I saw him in Malta coming up to, about 3 years ago. But just got a lovely delivery stride. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Look at the movement on that beautiful ball.
So you're going to get 2 overs from Bilal. That's not going to be easy.
No, just have a look at his run-up, folks. I mean, it doesn't get any better. It's almost like poetry in motion, isn't it? Watch him come in. And, yeah, he's going to enjoy bowling on this, I think. Here he comes, and he's getting the swing as well. So can he get this ball? You want to try and start it outside the off. But this time, just a little bit leg-side-ish. And that's why it's been whipped away to the backward square boundary. Square leg in the right place. Does the job. No boundary, just the run.
Yeah, I'll take it. Right now, Bilal Khan is trying to go for, I think, because he's searching for that swing. But yeah, one of the things about a bowler like Bilal is even more effective because not everyone will swing. It's not a predictable trajectory out of the hand. Last ball of his over.
So a slightly shorter one here. And batter's taking on the fielder. It's leg bias it will be to end the over, and it's a pretty tidy one, isn't it? And when you're needing sort of almost 15 and over right from the go, when you get a tidy over like this here, which just goes for, well, it's going to go for 4 runs, including that leg bye. It's going to be hard work.
Well, guess what? Next match And actually, at the end of this match, if there's no golden ball, we will hit 100 matches without a golden ball. So it's ticking over. The last one was the 2nd of September. That was in Belgium.
Yep.
It was Mechelen Eagles versus Ostend CC. But, yeah, we're yet to have an international golden ball. That is the tiebreaker. If there is a match tied, the batting team gets one more delivery. They need to score 2 or more to win the match. Otherwise, they don't win. So it's basically sudden death cricket at that stage. So, time for the second over.
Uppish, but over the 30-yard circle. Good shot, just over pitching here. And this one's been whipped away quite nicely. So we get another very good opening to come on the ball. Wasim Abbas, he's played a lot of cricket for the national team as well, but just goes a little bit too forward. I think not just does he go a bit forward, I think it's good batting as well there from Barker. He makes a good few steps down the ground. He turns that Yorker into a full toss. Tries to go down the ground.
Just smart fielding there. I think you're always going to concede the one. Just make sure you save the boundary. Yeah, seems a definite attempt from Barker to bat out of his crease and try and get something on the drive. And Abbas as well, he'll move the ball around a little bit. He'll probably try and get full. He'll get the opportunity now to face up. You see Luxembourg, if they don't chase this down, which I'd say is more likely than not, they need to start thinking long ball and not let their net run rate take too much of a hit. That would be the issue for them.
That's the line that you want to be bowling. It's right on the money, good length, Yorker length. It ends up being dug out by Cope.
A few shout outs. I know that Adrian Pickles is watching with Pat Silcox, I think, from Australia. I know a lot of people enjoying the action on Fox Sports Australia. And I must say, I spent a lot of time growing up watching the 500 channels.
Keep up!
Just a one here dug out. I like the length here from Abbas. He's full, but he's in the block hole. That's where he's trying to go. I think sometimes the batter's so keen to get forward, they're kind of yorking themselves a little bit, that they're so far on the move. Maybe they need to change the tactics slightly, maybe get back in the crease and then try and drive something on the up, because it does seem that Abbas is consistently hitting that popping crease.
Yeah, they're trying to come out to him and try and prevent the Yorker, but look, that's this time he's gone back, and that's the danger one. You go back, you get it wrong, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, actually like this batting, because when they've been going forward, they've been yorking themselves. So I actually think he definitely goes back in his crease here, Cope, to try and pick something up and go over the top. But yeah, he's just not able to do it. Nice ball of the over coming up.
And well, this is good, and well, for a moment I thought this is coming right our way. I was getting ready for the catch there, but it doesn't quite come. Well, what a nice shot that is. Well, it's a bit of showtime here now. In the middle there in the Cardamom Oval, trying to get funky. Well, this is Sun C-San Sexy Cricket. He takes that right off the top of middle stump, and that almost comes our way.
It's 2 full. I mean, it's borderline for height, probably thigh height. Not quite above the waist or at the waist, according to the umpire, but it will be Maximo time. Luxembourg 19 for no loss after 2 overs. Now, you can see the state of play. Early days, of course. Belgium getting a 17-run win in match 1 over France. These two teams will get the opportunity to score points in this game. Looks like Malta at the moment in the box seat, but it can change very quickly. In Scotland 11, we'll see them in match 3, which isn't too far away either. Really looking forward to seeing how they go on ECC debut.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I think there's this sort of buzz of anticipation. That's the worst. I think before we saw Ireland, nobody really knows what to expect. Nobody knows how they're gonna play and adapt to this format. But I've got a feeling that they'll do pretty well.
I've got a feeling you might be right. Anyway, let's go into over number 3. Let's over the power play. They don't bring back Bilal. They go to Justin Shaju, who gets hit down the ground, and he takes a wicket very first ball. So the pull was on, wasn't it? And Cope tried to get it, but he gets it straight. Doesn't get the elevation that he needed. And so Shaju breaks through with a wicket in his very first T10 international delivery, and Luxembourg lose their first. It's 19 for 1.
Yeah, nicely done. Justin Shaju just keeping this one a little bit wide. out of the off. Have a look here. So the batter has to get a fair bit of power on this because he's a little bit away from his body, but no mistake. A nice catch taken there by Bikram Arora. Aurora, I mean, we know, don't we? He's a classy player. We didn't see him with the bat. He wasn't required, but he's a good batter. He's a good leader as well as a captain. But in the field, I mean, when he's catching, safe as houses.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Even more power to this Maltese batting lineup we didn't see. But Cope, disappointment for him. Can't really get them off to the start that he would have wanted. He goes for 3. It's 19 for 1.
Yeah, a good moment there for Sharju, though, isn't it? I mean, he's picking up the first wicket for Malta. And the first time they're playing this T10 international format. So congratulations to him. And, well, he's saying, hey, finish yet, Rico? Would like a few more.
Bilal Khan with a catch down there.
It was Khan, was it?
Yeah, Bilal Khan.
Beg your
It's a
pardon.
long way from us, I can see. Can't always pick it out. But, yeah, Bilal, I would have thought maybe they'd go for him in this third over just while the ball's kind of new. Only conceded 5 of his first over. 2 of them were leg buys. Anyway, Justin Sharju does the trick first up.
Plays it through the gap, which has been swept though by a man that's on the boundary there. So nicely done. Good field this. I'm liking his field. They've got a couple of players inside the 30-yard circle. They're attacking quite well, but they've got the lines right. And this is sometimes what we talk about with the bowler, the captain, and also the wicket keeper has to make sure that those guys that are on the boundary are in the right places.
Shiv Karan Gill, who is out now at number 3, gets a single first up. Back to Barker. Shiv Karan Gill always looked good last year. Didn't really make the amount of runs he probably wanted to.
Well, this is a very wide delivery. Very good take there by Darshit Patanka. The tank. It's a big man, but he moves.
He's a big man.
Moves pretty well, doesn't he, for a big man?
Nice to see him getting an opportunity as well. Plays his club cricket for the American University of Malta. I haven't got it confirmed yet, but I think we're in pretty good position actually maybe to qualify for ECL, AUM. Some good players.
It's a catch it, but I think he's just going to drop short of Varun. Varun Prasad there.
How good did Varun Prasad hit the ball? And Basil George, take nothing away from him.
Yeah.
Those guys, those 2 left-handers, they were just hitting balls miles out of the park. That kind of ability is going to be so valuable in this form of the game. I wonder if they can do it maybe against some of the other attacks.
And this one's well hit, and nobody's going to stop this. This, in fact, will go all the way. So Manos Arriba from the Albitro. A nice shot, safe shot as well. He knows there's no fielder out there, and though he doesn't really absolutely muller it, he gets enough on it, doesn't he? Look, good footwork, gets to the pitch of it, nice hit, and it goes all the way for 6 runs.
Yeah.
And Shiv Karan Gill is off and running. Maximo.
Yeah, they'll take it. Like I say, Luxembourg, even if they don't chase this target down, they'll want to at least make as many as they can. Well, they'll still believe they can do it. About 16.4 required and over here.
Up and over again. This is a lovely shot, and this is good cricket. I'm liking this, and it's all awareness of where the fielders are. It's a safe shot to play. You know that man, and is in the mid-off position, so he's not on the boundary. Hits it cleanly. It's a lovely shot. Goes all the way.
Well, batting like this, who's to say they can't chase this down? Might be a case of whatever you can do, I can do better. That was a really good shot and good shot selection from Shiv Karan Gill. He's gone 166 in his innings so far.
Yeah, so they've got the man patrolling the offside boundary. That's why you haven't got long off on it. I reckon it's going to eye up the same shot again if he gets the length. No, he doesn't. It goes wide. He's trying to prevent the batter. Gill playing that shot, but goes too wide, and wide is called, so he'll have to bowl it again. So struggling to finish the over well here.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The breeze is a little bit right to left on your screen as well. It's kind of coming across the ground at the moment. It tells me that shot over cover. You've got a little bit of leeway. Will be wind assisted. Last ball to power play. Pretty good one.
Yeah, finishes well, but does go for 16, but he's able to finish well. The coaches will be happy about that. Talking about the coaches, I mean, Malta, the player manager, Varun Prasad, we know he's on the field of play, and the coach is Darshit Patanka, wicketkeeper. He's also on the field of play, so, well, they're doing it by, being on the field of play.
Yeah, well, that's where you get the best look, I suppose. Have a look at the first innings from Malta. You can see had a slightly down third over, but then it was big trouble ahead, wasn't it? as big bad boom boom Basil went bang, 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 bang in the fourth, 4 consecutive sixes, and they never really looked back. So if you look at this, Luxembourg actually win the power play 35-29 in the first 3 overs. But they'll do very well to keep up with the pace that Malta set in these middle overs. Middle overs went 25, 11, 17, 16, 22, 19 even. So that's overs 4 to 9.
Yeah, I mean, they hit the ball so well. And you said it, boom, boom, Basil. This one, oh, well, I think he should have at least got something on this. I think he'll be disappointed with that effort. I think that should withdraw it. And he's going to be disappointed. And that, again, we said that maybe it could have been a wicket of the very first ball. Well, it should have been a wicket here, the first ball of this one. It just goes up the air, hangs out there. Got to take these catches. Shots to catch it, but it drops well short of Varun. It's Sharma coming on the bowl now. Seen Sharma pick up plenty of wickets in Malta as well.
Yeah.
Amar Sharma.
Plays Malta Super Kings, Amar Sharma. Yeah, nice to see variety of bowlers used so far by Malta. I'm going to say they haven't really put a foot wrong so far, have they?
Short, but not quite getting the timing right, so field was able to come across. Stop it, looking to get that pull shot in the gap between the man behind square and the mid-wicket. Yeah, I mean, boom, boom, Basil. That's a name that we've used before. And Charlie Hunt, of course, he was in Malta. And he soon found out what boom, boom, Basil was all about. That seems to be his name at the moment. Well, talking about boom, boom, well, this is a nice one straight down the ground. That's a lovely shot from Barker. I like the way that he uses his feet, and that for me is the key to his batting, Timothy Barker. He's very quick to get to the pitch. Look, here he goes, and once he's there, he gets there early, and then he executes it well, hitting straight through the ball. He's not slogging, he's not trying to high up mid-wicket or cow corner, just hitting the ball clean, straight.
Excellent hitting. Really good technique as well to that. Follows through with the shot and gets it in the middle of the bat. Good batting by Barker. They need more.
This is a short delivery, but Barker was disappointed that he's not being able to find the gap here. Just needed to get perhaps a little bit more of a swivel on this as he plays the shot, and I think that would have been enough to get it wide enough from that fielder. So Sharma maybe gets a lucky break there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of ball. If you hit that for 6, you're still on strike. You feel like you're on a roll. Okay, the one's all right, but you just got to try and stay up with this rate. It's not easy.
And once again, looking to pierce that gap, but not going to, and that's good work there this time from Stanislaus. That will be the end of the over. It's a 48 for 1 at the end of 4.
So it's not a bad rate at all, really, is it? From Luxembourg, we're seeing a bit of fight from their top order. But just have a look at that rate, just creeping up little by little. Now we're up to pretty much 16.7. That's 167 pace for the rest of this innings. I will say, I've liked the batting of these two. And you've got someone like Thomas Martin to come in as well next. And he is certainly a guy that can hit the ball pretty cleanly as well. So let's go to the next over. And Malta will just hope that they can basically win the game in the next 3 overs, put it out of reach. So that's an important few overs. Coming up, it's going to be Eldos Matthew to bowl over number 5.
Yeah, using a different bowler each over at the moment. And I think it can, because of the rate the way it is, they can afford to do that. But I think as soon as they feel that they're under attack or under pressure, they probably will go to Bilal straight away. Firmly hit, fielder's got work to do, and he can't get there, gets fingertips to it. This is so well hit again from Barker. Loving the way he's striking the ball. Nice, good, clean contact, and 4 more runs. Doesn't have a long way to go, does he, Bilal, who's out there? But all he's able to do, you see there, just get fingertips to it. So Bilal can't, not sharp enough to cut that off. He's just been moved a little bit wider here now. Barker leading the reply, the fight back from Luxembourg. So now he tries to go a little bit straighter, but a better delivery, better length this time from Matthews.
I say, pretty good comeback from the bowler though. Just gets it full straight. It's always a good get out of jail, I think, if you can get it right. Problem is you don't really have a lot of leeway at this level. But yeah, you can see he's actually probably a metre out of his crease. He's on the walk a little bit. Barker, thought he kept pretty well. in the first innings for Luxembourg. Over to Shiv Curran-Gill, see if he can keep moving the game forward.
Well, he's got enough of it. Well, everybody's shouting catch it, but this is a good shot. It's a powerful shot. It has to get the power in it. I think you'll see he probably finds his places with both feet up in the air, you know, so it's a really good hit because it's short. Yeah, not quite, but you can still see there's a fair hit. He's hitting it on the up, and it's all about getting into position. The weight going into the shot gets the 6. Now, I'm trying to get it past the infield there and the offside. Gets a single, but I don't mind this. This is about what Malta did really well when they put those partnerships together. The batters between themselves were hitting boundaries, taking singles, rotating, and that's what Luxembourg are doing here at the moment.
It's a remarkable shot, really. That 6 of the back foot over, long off essentially. So yeah, they'd want to be around about 75 at the halfway point. A couple of 6 will make things interesting here.
Drags this out. Another work to be done for the man who comes across from mid-wicket and fires the throw in back to the bowler. So when you're going to fire a ball in like that, so I think the bowler's probably thinking, hey, I don't mind it, but throw it to the keeper. He's the one who's got the gloves. I think Elders Matthews certainly felt that on his fingers. Once again, batters, no dot balls. That's a good thing here. They're managing to keep that scoreboard ticking, keeping it around about 16 and over here. And well, it's a miscue, but he'll get it past the infielder, but not past the man Stanislaus, who's doing the sweeping on the boundary. So even though Matthews here goes for 14, it's still below what they require, so that rate will just keep creeping up all the time. It is 62 for 1 at the end of 5.
Yeah, this is the beauty of this form of the game, isn't it? That you can see if 1 5-over period and then another 5-over period, it can change like that. It can change really, really quickly. Anyway, I want to welcome you into the commentary box here. There's our dream box here on the Costello Solvini Sounder here, Mr. Maximo. Rico Full with me. Corey Ruckers, of course, he's around the grounds as well. And yeah, looking forward to what's coming up as well with Scotland 11, the 5th team in this group. Well, I'll be really excited to see them and how quickly they pick up this format of the game. I think what we're seeing right now is that all the teams, they are playing well in patches. Let's see who can do it kind of over the course of the week and go all the way.
Yeah, what did you think of France's debut? Against Belgium, a team we know are very strong.
I think with the ball, yes. With the bat, no. I think with the bat, my question is it a technical thing or is it a mindset thing? Because I think they might have gone over the top aggressive and kind of lost a lot of their technique in there. And I think Scotland will be a good test to see where France are at with their batting. Their bowling and fielding doesn't concern me. I think their bowling and fielding, I think was up to the mark. But Belgium, they bowled pretty well, but not probably to their absolute potential. There's a lot of wild swing and missing from France. Let's see how that turns around.
And looking forward to them coming back and seeing how they do. But like you say, they're up against well, a team a lot of people are fancying, the Scotland side. This is a nice shot, and yeah, it's hit beautifully straight. And this time it's Gill who plays a nice shot. So, beg your pardon, it's Barker again. The left-hander. It's really, I mean, he's hit these so well. His footwork is immaculate, isn't it?
Yes, very good cricket shot. Big gap straight down the ground.
Well, this is tossed right up, and it will go the distance. It will go the journey. Balle, kinna sona, shaka lagya. Well, I'll tell you one man, Timothy Barker, while he's out there, this game is in the balance because he's finding a way to hit those boundaries. And at the moment, Malta haven't been able to find a way to stop him coming down. What I haven't seen here is the bowlers try to outbox him, maybe spray one a little bit wide or down the leg side and get the wicketkeeper in play to get the stumping. This will be 6 more. Shaba, shaba. Balle, balle, balle. Manos arriba, arbitro. Porque eso es 6 carreras.
I'm loving this from Barker. He is just taking the game on. He knows he can't afford to let this game drift any further. And he has scored 35 out of 11. 35 off 11 in this partnership. Incredible hitting so far. Luxembourg right back in this contest now. Round the wicket.
Well, it's not a good delivery.
They might want to see if this is off the pitch or not. Bowler was blocking the umpire, so look for some clarification here. Because if it's off the pitch completely, it'll be a no ball, and that is off the pitch.
Does it pass that line though?
But it's the stumps is the line. It has to pass in
Yeah,
the full.
yeah.
So that. Well, I think this is wrong because that's bounced before the stumps. So anyway, that's a mistake. We want to get out this ball. And he will get out this ball. Oh, will he? No, don't think Vikram Aurora was ready. He was still setting the field. And, well, a bit of craziness, but I can tell you that's been an excellent innings from Tim Barker. He gets his half century off 19 balls, and he's given his team a chance with a very, very good 50 to start his tournament.
Yeah, Timothy Barker take about 53 moves on of 19 deliveries. Ball bataya. Timothy Barker no the half century Puri Gully, and well, he hasn't given this up yet, and this is being thumped. Oh, what a big hit. Well, that is a biz away supersonic 6. He's given that some welly. It goes all the way. Shaba Gidda Jaswala Gekani, but Jabardasti batting here from Timothy Barker. And he ain't finished yet, and this is turning out to be a very, very good over. And that one, it does go magical. 28 off that one. Shirid Roy, well, he gets taken apart.
Wow, that is potentially a match-defining over. Shirid Roy goes all the way to the cleaners, and he's taken there via the Luxembourg batters there. Barker, 59 off 20 now. What a chase this would be if Luxembourg could pull it off. In fact, after that over, they're pretty much on the pace.
Yeah.
Just 14 and a half required. So they're going at 15 and over right now. And that's what they'll need.
Is
And
this
105 after 7, 120 after 8. Little
Is
targets.
this panic time? Is this where Malta go back to Bilal Khan? I think you probably have to. I think they are. It does look like they're going back to Bilal. I mean, this is a lot earlier than they would have liked it. They would have liked Bilal to bowl the ninth, I'm sure. But I think they're just sensing that they need to get a wicket here, and particularly the wicket of Timothy Barker. 59 of 20 deliveries.
All right. Throwing the trump card in. Bilal to bowl over number 7.
And goes for the big shot, and that is an outstanding catch. That is a little bit of jalebi catching going out there. It is Aldous Matthew that holds on to it. That is super. That is super duper. How about that? What a catch. It's an absolute ripper. And they go back to Bilal Khan, and Bilal Khan delivers for his captain. But it takes an outstanding bit of work there in the field. Aldous Matthews take a bow.
What a catch that is. At a big moment in the game as well. It's not Barker, but it is Shiv Curran Gill, who looked pretty good himself with 3 sixes in his 10 balls before that. But it is one of those, it's almost like a slips catch kind of dive, and he gives the ball a little kiss and throws it away. And he says, well, that is a highlight for me and my country. The Shiv Curran Gill goes for 23. And Bilal comes back, gets the wicket immediately. It's 90 for 3 now in the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, it's an outstanding bit of cricket. And we have seen some catches, some humdingers here at the Cardamom Oval. And that is just another piece of outstanding fielding that we've seen here. What a great catch.
Yeah, we'll talk about taking chances, presenting chances, creating chances. These are the important things, especially in this form of the game where it's all heightened, it's all magnified. So Newt Batter comes out. It's Vikram Vij, the captain. Not too much luck with the ball. Let's see if he can keep things rolling with the bat.
That's well, just gets inside the line, tucks his away, and that's a clever thing to do at the moment. And Timothy Barker, he is hot and spicy really the way he's hitting the ball. So I think of the captain just saying, hey, while you're going good, here you go. Have the strike back, see what you can do with Bilal.
That's smart. I mean, this is the contest I want to see, though. Is Bilal Khan versus Tim Barker. In the first over, they weren't able to do too much with Bilal Khan. Only 5 came off it, 2 of them were leg byes.
Yorker delivery. It's been attacked by the fielder, but it's bouncing awkwardly. But Matthew has already shown us what a classy fielder he is after taking a great catch, just a single.
So Vikram Vij, he can't afford to sit on his hands here. He also needs to contribute. There's a lot of runs to get. You can't rely just on one batter to do it. So here's the number 4. He is the captain. He also has to look to try and score boundaries, I think.
down the leg side and will be called wide, just losing his shape a little bit here.
So I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't bring Bilal back in the third over. They went to Justin Sharju, who did start with a wicket caught by Bilal actually, but did go for it 2 sixes and 16 came off that over. I would have thought with the ball moving around, he's a little bit more dangerous. That one, you see no swing for him, went all the way down the leg side.
Once again, it's down the leg, so just straying in his line a little bit to the left-hander, to Vikram Vij. So just struggling perhaps, but I mean, it could be worse. If he's touching any of these, they're going to race away to the boundary.
Yeah, you have to reach them first. I want to say hello to Sean Byrne in the chat from Overseas Cricket Club in Malta. He's no stranger to a catch celebration.
This is up in the air. Has he got the legs on it? I believe it has. I mean, just have a look at that wind. I mean, when you see this caption of the ball going over the boundary, keep an eye on the wind on those flags. It tells you which way the wind is blowing. So anything that goes up in that zone, the wind's going to catch it and is going to assist the batter. So this is a good sign for the captain. You see those flags there? Well, that's the story. Anything in that zone. So the left-hander is going to fancy these shots here, Vinny.
Yeah, if that was the Olympic 100-metre final, the world record wouldn't stand because that was wind assisted. But that's smart batting from the left-hander. Knowing the way the wind's going is so important in cricket when you're fielding, when you're batting, even when you're bowling.
This one is not out the middle, but it goes the distance again. You can see how the wind is playing a part here because the fielder comes in, he's believing that he's going to be in with the catch, and next thing you know, that wind has caught that ball, it goes clear over his head. Back-to-back sixes, boom, boom, shukka time from the captain.
Gets none of that. Oh, gotta say, that is Mother Nature influencing this cricket match because, once again, with the wind, carries the fielder. And well done to Vij. He's picked up the pace real quick. He's got one more ball to deal with from Bilal Khan.
Got to go fuller. And he strays down the leg side once more. And 3 wides in the over. And that's the disappointment because, look, I was saying that the wides, you know, if he gets a bat on them, it could be 4, it could be worse. But that 6, if that 6 would not have happened if he didn't bowl those wides.
Yeah, it's a good point you make. He's had to bowl long over here, Bilal. This has not gone to plan. They brought him in to stop the rot. Started fine, but 17 off this over now with the ball to spend.
This one will just be probably a single. But yeah, very important point. That's the reason why coaches, they try and get you and they want you to finish your over as well. I mean, there was 3 wides in that over, and just think about it. The last 3 deliveries went 6, 6 and single. So if he didn't bowl the extras, it wouldn't have been those 6s.
Yeah,
and
3 individual wides, leg side wides in that over. So we are at the end of the 708 for 2. This game is right in the balance, 41 or 40 now, pardon me, off 18 balls. France, they'll be here again. They went down to Belgium by 17 runs in the first match of the day. Scotland 11 though, looking forward to seeing them. And Angus Guy, I think he'll be a really key player for them, batting 3. Also likely to see him with the gloves. But I know that they're a team that have a lot of obviously cricket experience. I think high-level cricket experience. It's just a matter for me how quickly they pick up this format. Really looking forward to that. Starts in about half an hour right here on the European Cricket Network. And here's Eldos Matthew, who's fresh off his outstanding classic catch on the boundary. He's got the ball now in the 8th, and a huge over really in the context of this match.
Massive over. That rate is now on the way down. And well, this will help. Lovely shot. It's over pitched, but it still needs to be put away. And nicely played shot. And the 2 left-handers now out there are causing a few problems. Vikram Vij, the captain,
good hitting.
Yeah, that's a really good shot, isn't it? I mean, I know it was over pitch, but still, he plays the correct shot all along the ground. 4 runs.
Just hits it hard and hits it correctly. Just have a look at this field. What I'll be doing, I'll probably be trying to protect that deep mid wicket with 1 extra there. They've gone fairly straight, long off. There's long on and a deep mid wicket. There's a big gap between the long on and deep mid wicket. Here's Matthew.
This could be a chance. Just as, oh dear, oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, you see, for me here, you've got to commit, and I think here you've got to go for this. I think go for it, take the gamble because it's a big wicket, and he doesn't. He's in 2 minds. He doesn't know what to do, and as a result of that, he finds himself this is an awkward one. And
Yeah.
he doesn't get to stop.
Well, deer in the headlight stuff really from Bilal down there.
Yeah.
He needed to come and try and make it into a catch. Even if he doesn't catch it, he pushes it forward. Instead, he backs off and it blasts through him.
And well, at the moment, you have to say these two are making it look easy. And the captain, Vikram Vij, comes in, and that's another boundary for him. He moves to 26 of just 7 deliveries. And Luxembourg here are on course for pulling off what will be a remarkable run chase, Vinny.
Yeah, well, there could be a twist yet, but what I will say, Luxembourg, a team that went winless throughout last year's tournament in 8 matches, they are on the brink of something really special, but there's still very, very high potential that this one could take a turn. But I've got to say, Vich, I'm really impressed with the captain here. He was intelligent. First ball he came out, he pushed a single and he gave Barker the strike. Then he got on a bit of a heater against Bilal. I think his left-handedness is a real benefit as well with this wind at the moment. So you've got 2 left-handers there. It's smart captaincy for him to come out at number 4. And now it's up to Malta, really, to try and work their way back into this contest. 27 off 14 now.
Yeah, well, remember, Bilal Khan has bowled his 2 now. So somebody else has got to stand up and get a couple of good overs in. And, in the air, and it's taken. And that's the one that they needed. And he didn't need to do this, did he, Timothy Barker? I'm surprised at this shot selection. He's batted well all the way. I mean, Barker, remember, he was dropped off his first ball by, well, it was Basil George that dropped him. And then here, doesn't need to do this. He just needs to play, I mean, the way he's batted all the way, play simple, correct cricket, orthodox shots. He goes to get funky, and all he succeeds in doing is giving his wicket away. It's Wasim Abbas that takes the catch. He's going to be really disappointed to be out in that way.
Yeah, he will. After he batted so well, takes a risk that, I suppose hindsight's 2020. He'll feel it wasn't worth it, but he did have the potential payoff of a boundary, and the ball was there for it as well. It just didn't execute it. But I've got to say, really well batted by Timothy Barker. 5 maximos, 5 fours in his 60 off just 22 rocks. And he departs at 121 for 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's take nothing away from the innings. You know, he's kept his team in this, and they're still in it. They've still got batting, we know. He's given himself a great opportunity to pull off what will be an amazing run chase, but he's going to be very disappointed to give his wicket away like that.
Thomas Martin, the new batter. This guy can hit it as well. Right-hand player at the crease. First time in a while. Completely misses the first one into the over. Notice Matthew. A bit of everything in his spell. He finishes 1 for 27. And the score after 8 is 121 for 3. 27 required off these last 2 overs. The other thing is the time. 4 minutes to bowl this last over. You'd imagine that would be okay, but certainly something for Malta to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, what a conclusion this is going to be in this one. And are you tingling? Are you tingling?
I am actually tingling pretty hard.
Tingling? Because what are we on here? 99, right?
Yeah,
99.
So actually, we are 99 matches without a golden ball. If this isn't a golden ball, it'll be 100. But remember, the only other golden ball we've had in a marquee tournament here at Carter was the Luxembourg team, Star CC versus Helsinki Titans back in the European Cricket League, which is the Champions League of European club cricket. Anyway, Wasim Abbas gets the 9th. Good luck.
Good start from him. That's what they'll be wanting from him, Malta, is 6 deliveries like that in the block hole.
Well, here's the thing. If you have a really good 9th here, let's say you keep it to 7 or less, then you're looking 20s last over. You just don't see that very often. So, despite the heroics of the Luxembourg batters so far, still a lot to do. Here's Abbas.
Once again, he goes for the pitched up delivery. Maybe a little bit over pitched it, but you see, this is the other difference, Vinny. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Thomas Martin, but when a new batter comes in, you know, it's not easy to get going straight away, and that's why that wicket of the opener, Timothy Barker, and the way that he went was so crucial, because a new batter now has to come out and start a hit straight away. Vikram Vij, what an important delivery this is. Got to get a boundary. Goes for it, and he's going to get one. Just gets it wide of that fielder. And it's Samuel Stanislaus who gets the dive in, but he's not able to stop it. And gets 4 runs, so just keeps them in it, doesn't he? Keeps them in it, because now, well, it's 21 of 9 deliveries.
Yeah, Vikram Vij is captain courageous stuff here. Again, this was all about the placement. Probably not the hardest ball he's ever hit. I think if you Wasim Abbas here, you've got to get away from Vikram. He's got a deep cover in place. don't get too straight.
And this is hit pretty straight, and it's going to be 4 more. What a cracking shot from the captain. Well, the captain is standing firm here and standing tall and delivering for his side. This is a cracking shot straight down the ground. 2 boundaries. So we're going into the last, and we're going to have a cracking finish to this match.
Wow, we sure are.
And that's clever cricket, because it's a good delivery. But rather than swing aimlessly and miss, he takes the single, which means, well, he's basically saying here, I think, to Thomas Martin, this is your ball to go big, hit a boundary for me, because I really want to be on strike for the last over.
Yeah, that's true. So pretty much free swing the bat for Martin, but he didn't catch up with the first one that he faced. Now, what's his area here? They'll be trying to go straight over cover's head. I think that's probably his plan A with the wind.
No, I don't think you want this. I don't think you want this single, Vinny. I don't know what
Yeah,
your score on this is.
I would agree with you. I think it's not worth the extra run, because now Martin will be facing. He's very capable. I suppose he gets a good ball there as well, doesn't he? 133 for 3 after 9 overs. We got a game and a half on here. And I've got to tell you that I know that Dave's watching Mandrake. He was watching across the weekend, and he said, and it's a bit hard for him to get involved in the comment section because of where he's watching from. He predicted a golden ball in this game. So, Dave, I did remember. And, well, right now we're going right down to the wire.
Looking forward to this over here. Now, first question, a little bit of debate. Who are they going to go for? You can see some of the key Maltese players coming together, having a chat about it.
I think we're on here, potentially. If we have a tie, it will be a golden ball. The batting team will get 2. We'll need 2 to win, otherwise fielding team wins. Bowlers have had the better of the golden balls, believe it or not, this year. 8-3 to the ball. All time now 22-13. But remember, it was tied 10-10 after 20 of them. So here we go. Rico, seatbelts on, everybody. 15 for a memorable chase. It'll be a memorable game, no matter who wins it. Let's go.
And this is hit pretty well, and it will go all the way. Ball. Thomas Martin smashes the first one out of the ground. Big 6, 9 needed of 5 deliveries.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also why you take the single, because it's not like Thomas Martin's a bunny. Far from it. And he just hasn't had too much time at the crease yet. It was just too short, wasn't it?
Yeah, far too short.
Sharju, who started with the wicket last time. Right now, he knows he's in a contest. 9 required off 5.
Better delivery, but still, fielders got to get down. They look to go 2, do they? No, they decide against it.
Definitely not. Definitely not with Fish able to face now. 8 off 4. You just feel, if there's a 6 here, that'll be enough for them to win. If there's a 4, be close. If they don't hit any boundaries off these balls, I don't think they can do it. So we are right down to the wire. Nail-biting stuff from the Costa del Sol.
Sharju, though, under pressure now. He's got to get it right to the left-hander. And, well, the captain, Vikramvich, what an innings been from him.
Think about what this means for these teams this week as well, to get a win in their first game.
Hits it well. This is going to go all the way. Que grande, que guay. El capitán es un golpe genial. Es una 6. Incredible. That means 2 required of 3 balls to go. What a hit this is. And the captain, Vikramvich, is probably playing here one of the innings of his life.
Misses his spot, though, doesn't he? Misses his spot, Justin Sharju. Needed to get up in the block hole. And that's the margin of error that you don't have. But what does that make it now? Just 2 required of 3 balls. They'd have to fall over to lose now. They need a dot ball, Malta. Where's it going to come from?
Well, not from here. That is going to seal it. What a victory this is. Absolutely grande. Que guay, que genial. Manos arriba it is from the umpire, because it goes for 6. He finishes on 49 or 14 deliveries. That's the captain, Vikramvich. Well, it's manos arriba from the umpire, but it's also hands up in the air from the team. Luxembourg and their bench, because they're applauding, they're jumping up and down. What a run chase we've seen here today. What a victory this is. Oh, Vinny, what a match.
What an incredible chase. I've got to say, Luxembourg, that is a real coming of age for them at the T10 format of the game. I mean, these 2 teams, they're only separated by 1 place. They're right next to each other in the T20 international rankings, and you see there's not too much between them at this format of the game as well. But yeah, Vich, that was an innings of a lifetime, really. The way that he held his cool. In the end, they do it, I won't say easily, but relatively easily off the third last ball. It's pumped for 6, brought up the 150 as well, and that is one of the all-time great chases we've ever seen here at the Carlton Oval.
Sensational, absolutely sensational. Well, we keep saying it. The European Cricket Network, a frenzy of action-packed entertainment that's serving the world with the most entertaining form of cricket you'll ever see.
How about this, though? I mean, the first over only went for 5. 2 of them were leg byes. Looks like they needed wider bats, but then this game took a real turn, didn't it? And they got a couple of boundaries off Wazir Marbus as over. And then you see Sharju gets a wicket first ball. And that just brought Shiv Curran Gill. He started in a flurry. It was Barker, really, that made most of the running in this chase and just kept his team in the game for a while there.
Yeah, we keep saying it's a game of partnerships. First of all, there's that partnership between Timothy Barker and Shiv Curran Gill. I mean, Timothy Barker, the shots that he played, his footwork was absolutely immaculate. And it was well matched by Shiv Curran Gill. But when he was to go, caught by Matthews, off the bowling of Khan, well, that brought the captain in, and well, wasn't he sensational? He ends up being the master blaster and the match winner for Luxembourg. And Luxembourg, congratulations to them, they've won their first ever match in a European Cricket Championship.
They have at their 9th attempt, so they didn't make the finals last year because they were winless, just the 1 point due to a washout. What a catch that was, though, by Eldos Matthew, and you felt that that might just turn things a little bit back to Malta. And you see a lot of good relations between these two teams, as you'd imagine, but still on the field, very close contest. But, well, the left-handedness of Vikram Vish coming in really handy a couple of these times when they weren't quite off the middle. But I also got to say, he wasn't a one-trick pony. He also went offside. He went through the line of the ball when it was required. So that Bilal just missed time, one on the boundary. This one was missed time by Barker. It was the end of him. So you thought, well, it's a lot to do, isn't it, for the captain? Could Vish get them across the line? Well, the short answer was yes, he could.
Yeah, I mean, it's games like this, you look back at certain points. I mean, obviously, when Barker is dropped early on by Basil George for 0, that certainly could have been the turning point. But we just don't know, and this is the thing with Malta and certainly with Luxembourg. We just don't know what else they got in attack, but certainly from what we've seen already, there's plenty there. And we saw some outstanding hitting here. How about that? Is not often that you see almost 300 runs scored in one of these matches. That's what we saw here. That was what was so spectacular about this match. And this is why this European Cricket Network and the Dream 11 European Cricket Championship is taking the world by storm.
Yeah, crazy stuff. It is cricket on steroids, as we see match 3 just around the corner. Scotland 11, first chance to see them at this ECC. And they will be chasing in this one. France winning the toss, elected to bat first. I don't mind that. Their batting didn't really click, but they were chasing. This time they don't have that kind of scoreboard pressure. I think the captain, Noman Amjad, very important for them. Kanastani pulled off a really good run out this morning as well. And watch out for the Mangals, Ramatullah and Rohullah Mangal. But for Scotland 11, Alex Tinkley and Muya Majid, this is up the top of the order. And now I guess we'll have to see what Scotland bring. I think we'll see a bit of tall timber from the Scots as well when we return in around about 10 minutes to take you into the middle match today, match number 3. Well, what a chase from Luxembourg, and what a way to bring up your first ever victory in ECC cricket. I've got to say, the top 4 batted very, very well. I know they lost Cope early, but it probably was a good wicket to lose because he never really got going. He scored 3 off 6, but Barker 60 off 22, 5 4s, 5 6s in there. Shiv Curran Gill, 3 Maximos in his 23, and then Vikram Vij, well, it'll be the best 49 he's ever scored, I think. He falls just short of the half century, but it didn't matter, did it? Because he got his team across the line, and that was the main thing. And a bit of an interesting set of bowling figures. Bilal Khan was very tight in the first over. He went for plenty in his second. He took a wicket though, so did Sharjah with his first ball, but didn't have a lot to write home about after that. And then Elvis Matthew chipped in with 1 as well. We never saw Sharma again. The combined spin of Sharma and Roy going for 41 off 2 overs. So, well, Luxembourg, they're the story so far of the day, but we will be back in about 10 minutes. Corey Ruckers will be back to replace me in the box for match 3, but Rico Full will be staying right here. We'll leave you for just a few minutes. When we return, it will be match 3, and it will be France batting first against the Scotland 11, and Scotland 11 are on debut. Hope you're having a great day. We'll see you shortly, just the other side of this break on ECN for more Dream 11 European Cricket Championship.
extremely hard. Exciting man to watch. Let's see how he gets on with it in this one. Almost ready. Ball one. Here we go. And that's a nice way to get yourself started. Just a single off the leg stump, and Jarvis gets himself going. Looks like we're seeing a change to the order, and it looks like they definitely are tinkering with things. Kes Sajjad is going to open now. He's a big man. I reckon he's been sent up to get on with it. So Michael English, who was opening previously, putting down the order a little bit. And you can see the intent change right away. Kes Sajjad tries to absolutely whack that. So they've changed the opening position a few times. Callum Garden also opened the batting. So trying to find someone that might take the opportunity with both hands. Sajjad, he definitely will want to get a few runs here and impress his coaches. Yeah, high in the air, got enough of it, and, well, that will impress the coaches. 6 runs, and, well, that's a difference in intent compared to some of the other openers. Gets a big piece of that. A nice way to start this innings. This is the risk. When you open with a spinner, even his good balls can go the journey. It's not the worst right-arm leg spinner you'll ever see, but nice shot from Kes Sajjad. Shorter, doesn't get all of it, but there's no one there, and he'll get a single in the end. He'll be disappointed to miss out on sending that one over the pickets. So I do like that the Scottish 11 are, well, changing their order, trying to find the right combination. Very important indeed. As the keeper, he's a bit of a live wire, the French keeper. Jackson, really impressive with the gloves. Jack Jarvis back on strike. Had a very good week so far with the blade and hands. And that's a nice shot. And I mentioned no one behind square. It's basically a freebie. If you can get down and sweep it, you're guaranteed runs. And they'll double check to see if this is 4 or 6. Nice looking shot. And that's 4 runs. Just short. And you can see Scotland will be pumped up for this. I really think we're about to see them start to click in this format. As that one will be signalled to 4. I imagine just falling short of the rope. And just double checking it, definitely 4 runs. So last ball of the first over. Nice start this for Scotland. They'll be a little bit disappointed that they lost the last 2 games versus Belgium and Malta. I'm expecting a big response from them here. Oh, and that would have been one of the catches of the tournament. Oh my word, what an effort from Ahmedzai. It was absolutely smoked. He does well to even get a hand on it. Jarvis gets an early life, but I tell you what, if he had caught that, I would have retired from commentary. Top effort. Top effort. As it does take us to the end of the first over. Scotland are 13 for none, and good opportunity to welcome back good friend, co-commentator Vinny Sandhu. Vinny, how are you?
Good evening. I'm very well, Corey. Hope you're well as well. Here's the issue for France. Nobody's scored over 50 in this tournament yet, so that ain't great, is it? That's to match 9 anyway. But as far as Scotland 11, their issue is apart from those 2, well, Hinkley's 3rd on 33. That's not a great stat, is it? So 2 teams struggling with the stick, really. I suppose the benefit is Scotland at least have 2 guys that are clicking. France really don't have anybody.
Oh, here comes a man that I've been impressed with. He is the leading wicket taker so far. Mangal, that doesn't have his wickets from this morning. I think he's got 8 in the group so far.
Yeah, got to say, Rahmatullah Mangal is a guy that's given everything. It's not their bowling that's let them down so far. This one probably would have been a wide. It's going to rattle the pickets for 4. So Jarvis, he's a unit, isn't he, when he gets going? And he can play shots all around the wicket. He's a proper bat, and he's loving this format. Probably one of the few at the moment for Scotland, but that's a really good start to this over. So Rahmatullah Mangal just airs a little bit in line. Now a little bit short, and this is sent away. It was just a short arm jab, really, from Jarvis Maximo. And he is one guy that is having a good time out there. He goes 4 and 6, pick up sticks at the start of the second over.
Vinny, each week we've sort of seen some players of top calibre, and well, I think in week 8, I think Seamus Lynch and Daniel Doyle K8, they really set the standard, didn't they? In Group B, we saw Shanji from Denmark, and well, a couple of the Dutch players, Sikander Zulfikar was sensational. But Group C, right now, this man is setting himself apart, isn't he? He looks like a complete batsman.
Yeah, he does. He looks organised, doesn't he? So, what's the comeback here from Mungal? Wow, he hits this, but how well? Not well enough, and he's gone. It's a big moment early here in match 10. Corey's put the kibosh on Jarvis, good and proper there. He'll go for 16, but that's all he'll get. And Scotland 11 lose a key man, 23 for 1.
I've never built someone up more in my life to bring them down. That is the kibosh and a half. He actually hit that pretty well. Top catch from Amjad. And how's Mangel? He just takes wickets for fun, Vinny.
Yeah.
He really does. Huge wicket. France, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, this is the thing about this format of the game. It's unforgiving, isn't it? Noman Amjad takes an important catch, and tell you what, Rahmatullah Mangal, he was fired up. Unfortunately, the coat hooks have to get hung up here for 16 off 6. Noman Amjad takes the catch, and he'll be back to the Hall of Mirrors after that, but it does mean his teammates are going to have to step up. Score now 23 for 1. So, Rahmatullah Mungal, Corey is exactly right. He has been taking wickets for fun. And it hasn't been the bowling and fielding that's let France down. I mean, even when they only had 60 odd to play with against Luxembourg, they still fought all the way, took it to the last over. There's Sivanthira and Santhira Kumaran hovering. New batter here is the other danger man, Liam Naylor. He gets one, just catches on the hip. Well, has to throw off balance. He really throws himself off his feet there as well. I'm loving this energy from Rahmatullah Mungal. But a bit of an uncomfortable moment early in the innings of Liam Naylor. See there, he's kind of cramped himself more than anything. But yeah, France. They also suspect that Scotland are a little bit susceptible with the bat. I'm sure they've been following this series very carefully in the games. They haven't been playing each other. These two teams met yesterday. France put 90 on the board. Scotland chased it down. Big swing and a miss from Kes Sajjad. There's no doubt he's been out there, put out there for a reason. In that game, Scotland chased down the 91, but it took them all the way to the 10th over to do so. They won that one 5 down with 4 balls to spare. And really, a lot of it was about the batting of Naylor, who scored 52 off 24. He was player of the match. And he was the danger man then. He's there now. Uncomfortable start to his innings. Spoil the over coming up from Rahmatullah Mungal. Run rate pretty good for Scotland 11. 131 pace early in the piece. Handsome looking drive. 1 bounce. Now they're thinking of 2. Well, it's not on, and we've got a big mix-up. And that just sums it up, doesn't it? It's a proper cook-up from Scotland on a slight misfield. It'll be 1 and out. Sajjad's the man that goes. He'll be run out for 8, and after 2 overs, it's 25 for 2. Just a miscommunication. They were looking at each other. I think Naylor liked the 2 in theory, and so did Sajjad, but I think that they failed to notice the ball had hardly got away from Noman Amjad, who turned and fired a throw to the bowler's end. Mungal was there to do the rest. 25 for 2 after 2 overs, and Corey Ruckers, what can you say about that? Scotland, their own worst enemy on that occasion.
Well, it's an absolute shocking miscommunication. It was 1 to deep mid-on. They think about 2. Sajjad just completely loses track of where the ball is. And that's a proper spike by Mangal. But
but I think the issue here is you just have a look at Naylor. He actually calls for the 2, number 9, Naylor. He turns and he wants it, but then he realizes he's made a bad call. He goes, yes. And so he's actually, to be honest, I think that Sajjad does the right thing. He's looking at his partner, but his partner basically makes an error of judgment that costs Sajjad his wicket. And so terrible finish to the over. I suppose all you could say is at least it's not Naylor that's gone, because he has been the key man, especially against France. But yeah, Sajad, he'll be really disappointed because he was looking promising in that innings early. Now we're going to go back to the spin of Ahmadzai in the third.
Yep, so more spin in the power play here for France. Well, what a start to this one.
Cricket's a cruel game sometimes.
Yeah, tough. Well, I liked his intent, Sajad.
Yeah. This is one of the brisk wrist spinners. I'm done with Ahmadzai in the third over.
Yeah, he was definitely sent up to play a sort of crash and bash role, and he timed the ball okay, so hopefully we see Sajad get more a go throughout the week. But yeah, Naylor, a bit of pressure on him considering no one else in this Scottish lineup below him has made too many runs.
Short, and there's no long on, so this will be 4. So again, I suppose you're still in the power play, so you can only have 2 outfielders. They've gone for a deep forward square leg and a long off. So that's smart batting, I think, by Naylor to pick that gap, and he picks it pretty well.
Yeah, nice shot. You've got to have deep long on, you'd imagine here. It's a bit of a freebie for him. I'd like to see France maybe just go pace on in the power play. Bowling 2 wrist overs is a bit risky.
This is in the end, it's
no.
dropped. And that's a big moment. Naylor dropped on 5.
Imagine if it's 30 for 3 here.
And you have the
two big fish.
Yeah, the 2 big fish would have been in the boat.
The fielding has let them down.
Remember that moment. Naylor dropped on 5 by Rahula Mangal.
Wow.
Wasn't easy because it was hit hard, but he just wasn't set, was he? Still moving. Ahmadzai. And now they're going to pay straight away. Bangs off the fence on the full. Maximo. Big trouble on the cards potentially for France.
Yeah, he should have been out the ball before. Gets a life, and he makes them pay the very next delivery. So disappointing for the French, but a nice cricket shot, 6 runs.
It's like top spinner, and it will get through the field. So immediately Naylor gets back to work. He was at the pearly gates, but he was sent back. He's 15, and Scotland climbing to 40 in this power play now.
40 in the power play. It's a good power play. France letting them off the hook a little bit. That's a good cricket shot, splitting the gap. Don't have to hit it too hard, just find placement. And another boundary.
There's Callum Garden, who's getting an opportunity here at number 4. We saw him coming into the team today. Missed out. He was run out, in fact, in the first match he played. Places cricket for Forfarshire. He'll be in the ECL in 2023. Ahmadzai's gone for 28.
Just hasn't worked the spin in the power play for them this tournament, France.
Now, slightly loose stroke this time by Naylor. But he'll get away with it, and he'll retain the strike into the power play. 41 for 2.
Yeah, so despite the 2 wickets, nothing wrong with the rate for the Scots. Be a little bit more testing for them outside the power play, of course, but Naylor has been one of 2 decent batsmen so far for Scotland. And himself and Jarvis have done a lot of the heavy lifting. I'll need to hope that a couple more players come to support this one, because this is the table. And
how about this table?
Bit all over the shop, isn't it? But Belgium, they're showing their form again today, back to what we know. Scotland, though, there's the surprise to be down in 4th. I don't think many people saw that coming.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But yeah, it is early days. But yeah, I think you're not wrong as far as what you're saying. But I just like to see it so clustered. Problem is that Scotland and France kind of out of the cluster at the moment, aren't they? And whoever doesn't win this, they won't be feeling very good at all, especially France if they go winless in the first 2 days. There's no easy matches here in Group C either.
Yeah, I think if France don't pull off a win here, I reckon they're really struggling.
So now we're going to see a bit more slow bowling. This time it's the slow left armers coming on of Zain Ahmed. Yeah, right in the money first up. Goes back and punches. He should get a single. One of the widest throws I've ever seen, but it doesn't cost them an overthrow.
Yeah, not the greatest throw, but really good backing up. So just a single in the end. Yeah, France, we know their batting hasn't been the best, so they're going to have to try and restrict this Scottish side to somehow under 100 if they can.
Yeah. Scotland 11. Still run rate good. This time he uses his feet and he uses them nicely and he nails it down the ground. That's an unprotected area at the moment, and Garden gets away with his first boundary. That'll give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, nice shot, and that's a good way to use your feet. When it's that slow, you want to come down the wicket, back your ability and get a bit of pace on the ball. Good shooting from Garden.
You can see Garden wasn't afraid to get down, was he? And Ahmed's not too quick through the air compared to Ahmedzai. Challenges him again. This time he picks another gap, and this will go by the giant Ice Cube for 4 more. Back-to-back boundaries for Garden, and that brings up the 50 for Scott and Levin. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Garden so far.
Yeah, well, we said they need to find more players that are going to help out the 2 men in forward, Jarvis and Naylor. Maybe Garden's the man. That's a better shot than the first one. Once again, when you skip down the wicket and turn it into a half volley, you can do what you want with it. And this time, he splits the 2 men on the offside.
No one likes getting run out. I mean, if you're not sure about that, just ask Sajjad, who just got run out, but it was Garden run out for just 1 off 3 back in match 7. So this is only the second time we've seen him bat. Right now, I've liked his footwork. Let's see if Ahmed makes a bit of an adjustment here. Not really. This time he challenges him and he gets him out of the ground. Maximal! Well, maybe we're seeing the third pillar of the Scottish batting now, because Garden has shown he's not afraid to elevate as well. And that one is a good straight 6.
Yeah, clean hitting. Really clean hitting. And 4-4-6. Yeah, we've been waiting to see this Scottish lineup be a little bit more reliant on other players. And you're right, this could be the third pillar they're looking for.
Let's just see. So Ahmed still challenging him with the pace off here. So it's a little bit quicker through the air. Take a semi-dodgy single and get away with it. So this is a key partnership now. Don't forget they dropped Naylor on 5. So France, again, their bowling's been good. The fielding mostly has been good. I just think that at this level, especially when your team's in precarious position on the table, you don't want to give good players chances.
No, you've got to hold your chances at any level of cricket, Vinny.
Goes back and hits this straight to the sweeper. It'll be the end of the over. So Ahmed goes for 17. Just a little bit slow through the air. It was punished a few times. After 4 overs, the score is 58 for 2.
Yep, 58 for 2. This is one of the very first times we've seen the Scottish 11 really break the shackles with the bat. I mean, the projected score at the moment is 145. I think they need a confidence-boosting win as well. They need to go out there and get the runs on the board, and if they can get more men in form, Vinny, then they're still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, not wrong there. Good little partnership this. They came together after that calamitous run out of Sajjad at the end of the second over. They were 25 for 2 already. You can see they've put on 33 runs in just 2 overs. Back to pace now in over number 5. And this will be the captain, Noman Amjad. Drifts in. Doesn't get out of the infield though, just a single.
Yeah, the captain's bowled well for them this week, Amjad. I'd like to see him with the new ball because he does get it to talk a little bit. Yeah, he'll bowl an important 2 overs here in the last 6.
The other thing which some of these teams will need to watch is the time. At the moment, I think they're tracking okay, France. Dug in, just hurried Garden into that shot, but he does get away for a single.
Just the sun going down behind the mounds now, so no more shadows over the pitch. Lights starting to come into effect.
Yeah, sunset. Give it an exact sunset time. It's apparently in 19 minutes. It's just gone behind the trees though. That's why it's completely in shadow now at the Cartermore Oval. Drives on the up. Well, they might get 2 now if they were watching. They would have got it that time because the fielder flicked it to open space. Again, slight lack of awareness there from Scottish 11 not to take the double.
Yeah, good commitment from the fielder, and it just went into a big land of space.
Yeah,
They went.
the irony was if he didn't touch it at all, it was going straight to the outfielder.
Yeah.
It would have been an easy one and no more, but in the end, it doesn't cost them any runs. This is Noman Amjad, the skipper. Just bites back a little bit towards Garden, and I think he slides back in time there.
Yeah, I think he's back even with the direct hit. You see both players, good sportsmanship, good fielding there. Like Zayn Ahmed.
Yeah, good dive though. Good players know how to dive. Only think he had to pull it out this occasion?
Yeah.
Had a feeling he was just back.
You don't often see both players dive down right next to each other.
Had time for a little chat, had a little moment there, didn't they?
It was a very big moment.
If they had much to talk about. Again, this is back into the hip.
I
And
can't imagine a Scottish accent and a French accent fully understanding each other, Vinny.
well, we'll say that the French guys, obviously, a lot of these players have amazing language skills. That's one thing I will say. I really respect people that live in Europe, how they pick up languages. But the Scottish accent is one that some people that are not native English speakers do find a little bit tough. Of course, in France, obviously they speak French, so there's not a lot of English spoken there either. Still, last ball of the over. It's a really nice shot. Good hands, isn't it, from Naylor? He just hardly swung the bat at that. It's just a little flick of the wrist, and he gets it behind point for a boundary. He's looking dangerous as we're halfway through this inning, 66 for 2.
Yeah, let's talk batsmen we've seen so far. I put him at the calibre of Seamus Lynch, Daniel Doyle. Name me some in Group B that you thought at this level.
Yeah, Group B. We got guys that didn't always fire, but you've got like a lot of the Dutch guys, like Musa Rahman when he gets going, for example.
It feels like he's at that level.
Yeah, seems like it. Anyway, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, European Cricket Network cricket 45 consecutive weeks of the year in 2022. And at the end of our Cardamom adventure, we still have 8 weeks left. We have a week in Croatia. Corey will be there with the Rico full.
Wow.
Looking forward to that in Zagreb. And then we'll have 2 weeks in Malta and 5 weeks in Barcelona. I know that you'll do half of Barcelona with me as well. Looking forward to seeing some of the guys. Might surprise you. The national selection
I'm
for
doing a
grabs.
talent camp in between that in Barcelona.
Very good. Like Spain's Got Talent kind of thing.
Yeah, you can come if you want.
What is it? Is it a...
It's on the. We're going to do it on one of the Sundays. We're going to do a senior one and an under-19s one. And
what's that? Is that mostly drills or games? What do you?
I don't know. They come down and I just monitor. I ain't running anything. I'll pick up a few beauties in there.
So talent camp. What is it? Juggling.
Anyone that makes me laugh, automatic selection.
You do get a bit grumpy when you're coaching, don't you?
Hey, whoa. That's not true. Hashtag fake news.
Well, we saw you last week.
I was too angry to commentate, wasn't I?
Little angry, Corey. Well, this is hit straight, and it's out of the ground. Well, Garden shows the power, because that wasn't anywhere near the middle, but he does still take it over long off. Maximo time as Scotland 11 swing into the 70s.
I think you've called it pretty well. They might have found the third pillar here. Garden looks good, so I like his zones, and he's got himself going here. Nice shooting, 24 off 10 now.
Taking the game on. I think, for me, just chatting to the Scottish guys, I don't think they were doing anything wrong necessarily. It just had a small sample size. See, it's across the seam here at Rahula Mangal. This one's called a wide.
It sort of felt like in the first few games they were playing a little bit within themselves. And I reckon if I was doing the intentometer, I reckon they would have been 30 red, 30 green.
Yeah.
And now we're sort of seeing them get up to that percentage where they're taking on everything.
The thing is, last time they held France to just 90. Now, right now they're 72, so they shouldn't feel too much pressure on them, these guys, at the moment. They've already got a very good score, and that's the way they're playing. Garden's been impressive here. Wants this one as well. It's good intent. One hand, one bounce. Dot ball.
Good fielding from...
So they tried Garden opening, and he got run out for 1. They've dropped him to 4. I'd like to see him at the top of the order.
Well, I mean, you could do, but Sajjad, besides that run out, looked like he could hit a big ball, so maybe they've found a bit of a top 4.
Yeah, okay. This one's short, flat batted again. You need a bit of luck. This is easy to hit straight down the throat of the guy at long off, but doesn't quite carry, so it's a good miss hit from Garden. He survives.
Yeah, sometimes you do need a little bit of luck. That one getting a bit big on him. Does bring the dangerous Naylor back on strike. He's ticking as well, 24 off 11.
Couple to come here for Mungol. He's gone for 8 in this over. Tries out the short ball. Doesn't work out too well. That's going to be 1 bounce, 4 runs. And once again, it's good awareness of the field from Naylor. I think he knew exactly where the offside outfielders were. He made sure to punch it into a gap. He gets a fairly risk-free boundary.
Yeah, class shot, real class shot. Not many players can get a short ball like that and make sure they get it over cover. A lot of players would have hit that down cover point's throat. So Naylor once again showing why I think he might be the best batsman in Group C so far. Well, it's hard against Jarvis, but I reckon they might have the top 2.
See, your games you've called, you've seen more of Naylor.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of Jarvis.
I haven't been on the air with Jarvis too much.
Jarvis has a bit about him.
Both of them do. And that's, I mean, if Scotland go deep in this tournament, those two will have a big weeks.
Do not count them out at all. Last ball of the over. Gets a little bit short, and it's hit straight to the field, who drops an absolute dolly. Then this would have been run out, but it's not. Now they think about an overthrow, and there's a fumble, so they will take the overthrow. And welcome to ECN, end of the 6th over. It's 79 for 2.
Well, there's 3 facets of the game you've got to be good at: batting, bowling, and fielding. And France are only good at one. They're good at bowling, and unfortunately, this is a sitter, absolute sitter. And then that could have been a run out with a direct hit. And you can just see the heads dropping. You've got to catch that. And Zayn Ahmed's had a bit of a shocker.
Well, you're right, and throws it away. It was a catch and a run-out opportunity. Naylor dropped on 5 and 28. So of the 13 balls he's faced, 2 of them have been drop chances. Now we'll go back to Rahmatullah Mangal in over number 7.
Well, he's the shining light. I've enjoyed him. I mean, his figures at the moment, he's got 1 for 12. Leading wicket taker in Group C. Not an easy feat when your team's been losing.
Yeah, true. I think you called it pretty well. I've been impressed by some of their fielding. I haven't been too impressed tonight. That's the way it goes. Here we go with Rahmatullah. And so I'll put a question to you. How many can France chase down here? If I had to ask you at the beginning, how many are France chasing, potentially?
On a good day?
Yeah.
85. Honest answer.
Based on what we've seen so far, that's fair.
Yeah, just their technique's a struggle with the bat. So I think Scotland, if they get anything above 100, they'll be certain favourites at least.
Tries to get funky and misses out.
Well, he'll be disappointed, Garden. That's probably the perfect ball for the ramp. Just moved a little bit too much.
What's the issue here is that he doesn't set his position early enough because he seemed to still be on the move.
Yeah, when players are on the move with the scoop, you tend to miss it. Got to be still, be brave. There's something about Mangal, the long-haired assassin here. Not many people get a hold of him.
Yeah, it's true. You certainly can't fault his effort. Steamy into Garden. This time he stands still, tries to hit straight. Doesn't quite get it. Will be a single.
Yeah, one thing about the Scottish, they're quite a technical team, so they look to hit straight a lot. We don't really see too many sixes picked up over backward square or mid-wicket. Always trying to go straight.
Yeah, that's a good point. You would expect that. Mangal will have 1 or 2 more wickets against
like
his
him.
name, I'm sure.
I like him a lot.
Yeah. Fake step in the air and dropped.
Oh, no.
And well, 3 times a charm. Naylor. They say things come in threes. The fielder looks hurt. I think the bowler's more hurt. That's Ibrahim Jabrakel who goes down. The catch goes down. Falls on his shoulder. Hopefully he's all right. But Scotland will get 4 off that delivery. They move up to 85.
Yeah, I think there might be some medical attention here. Is it his shoulder, Vinny? Not too sure.
Yeah.
Goes for the catch.
It's a big impact. And the thing is his right arm is
it sort of gets
across himself.
Yeah, it gets caught under him. And usually when your right arm gets caught under you, yeah, if you get your right arm caught under you, sometimes it actually can get dislocated. So, yeah, I hope he's okay, and hopefully it's nothing serious. But yeah, when you land and sometimes that gets caught over and you roll over the top of it.
I think that's exactly what happened. I did see him move his shoulder, though. It's just causing him a bit of pain. I think he'll probably be okay. But one thing for sure, Corey, you cannot afford to drop good players in this tournament. We've seen Naylor get 3 lives already from the French.
Well, when you get 3 lives, you go to the local shop and you go get yourself a lottery or a Powerball ticket because it's your day.
Yeah, it seems like it at the moment. And he was the man that hurt them. I mean, he's no stranger to the French. He's the one that blasted 52 of the 91 runs they needed to win in match 3 yesterday. So I think that one really, really hurts.
Well, that's a good sign. He's back on his feet. Maybe it was one of those. Yeah, look, he's a bit of pain. Maybe he took the wind out of himself. It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
no. Shoulder.
Yeah, I think the way he's stretching it, again, probably didn't want all the attention, did he, after he spilt that one? And what's worse, it went over the boundary. And here's the Mr. Invincible facing again. And the thing is, every time he gets dropped, he seems to hit the ball better. The next ball, that's cracked down along off for one.
Some days, it is just your day. And, well, for Naylor, getting a little bit of luck here. Nothing wrong about Garden as well. Garden's been batting really well.
So that would have been another week for Rahmatullah Mangal. He just has the 1 now. They stay that way. But this has been a key partnership. Now the partnership is worth 61 in 29 balls.
Shot.
It's a little bit on this, and once again the bowler just gets a bit too straight. That's good hands. Good hands by Garden just to get something on that. Gets away from the keeper. And so the 7th over finishes with the boundary. It's 90 for 2 after 7 overs.
Yep, 4 runs. He just gets enough on it, and that's what I mean. You can just use the pace. And as soon as it got that little inner half of the bat, it was easily a 4. And, well, this is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the first one.
Yeah, how about that? Because Scotland 11 went down to Belgium earlier today, so that's the return of that match. Luxembourg versus France. Well, Luxembourgers, they've done a number on France earlier today as well, so we've got some interesting matchups. Malta Belgium's a good one as well. In fact, they're all good ones, aren't they? So join us 9:30 AM GMT, 11:30 Central Europe. It's 3 p.m. in India for day 3. It's moving day in Group C. Pitched up and driven. This time Naylor just takes the one. So this is the captain, Noman Amjad. He's coming back. And now they're really not in any wickets trouble at all, Scotland 11. They've got 8 to play with. They can really hit the go button here. That's what he tries to do. Amjad always seems to get a good bit of movement back off the pitch, and that's why it's not an easy one to catch up with. Once hit down to long on for another single.
Yeah, good bowling from Amjad. He's a bit quicker than most people think, and he hurries onto the bat. And you can see the French side that I can hear them through the effects mic. They're still right up for this. One thing they've been good all week, their team spirit's pretty lively, the French, even though they haven't won a game.
I love their keeper, Action Jackson. This is in the air, and it's going to get over the fielder. Once again, it's silky wrist, isn't it, from Naylor, who is just having a night out here. And that takes them to 96. Naylor moves to 40.
Yeah, you get some players that are brute force and look to clear the ropes. He's a timer of the ball. He doesn't look to overhit it. He just times it into pockets of space. So, gorgeous batting. I mean, if you offer a player of his caliber width, he always puts it away.
Yeah, he's having a reach there, isn't he? And I think that when you have to play away from your body and your eye line like that, it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination. But I think the key with that shot, he doesn't try to overhit it. Cheeky little shoelace here. Don't see too much time trouble at the moment.
Surprised to see he's got the white zinc on. Usually the Scottish people like a tan.
Yeah, well, you know, even under the lights, they probably might still be whacking it on.
Usually if you're Scottish, you have a
Well,
red tan, don't you?
I am half Scottish, you know
Oh,
that.
get off it. You're not half Scottish.
I'm half Scottish.
Isn't your last name Sandu?
It is. I said half.
Doesn't sound like Macmillan.
My mother was born in Glasgow.
Wow.
And I must admit, I'm partial to the black pudding.
We can't.
Do you know what black pudding is?
No, I've never had it. Have you had haggis?
Are we ready for food chat?
Yeah,
It
food chat.
is the last game of the day. We can go food chat in a second. Wait for this though from Amjad. Proper swing that time. Not too much, not too much poise in that one. I haven't had haggis.
Okay, so you're not Scottish then.
But I have had black pudding. I love Scotch eggs as well. Black pudding, it's basically a type of blood sausage.
Ugh, sounds awful.
It's basically made from blood. It tastes better than it sounds, put it that way.
It sounds like a
Scotch eggs are good though.
What's Scotch
Scotch
eggs?
eggs is like a boiled egg in like meat and a crumbed coating. Well, this has gone down the ground and it's a miss hit. It's going to be caught and finally Naylor's out of lives. Well, they say that life begins at 40. He finally runs out of lives at 40, but still Naylor has kept the score moving and that breaks that partnership. Scotland 11 lose a 3rd wicket now, 96 for 3.
Yeah, just didn't get out the middle of the bat. Cloughs it down to that man, Mangal. He doesn't drop many. And another wicket for the French. Much needed wicket as well. Good little innings. Besides having a little bit of luck, you've still got to put the ball away. And that's what he did. But keep going on about this food chart. I'm liking it.
Well, you know what haggis actually is?
Something gross.
Some of our viewers wouldn't know this, but I'll come back to that in a second. Because first, I want to acknowledge Liam Naylor, who, okay, had a few lives there, but you got to say he's been the engineer of this score, along with Garden. He departs with a score at 96 with 13 balls remaining.
Yeah, go on. What is haggis?
So you don't know exactly what it is?
It's sheep something, sheep liver or something, right?
So it's basically a sheep's heart, liver, and lungs.
Ugh.
With some other things like onion, oatmeal, spices, and salt, cooked inside, and it's served in the animal's stomach.
How does that even become a thing?
Yeah, I don't know, and I'll show you a picture.
I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. I'm enjoying my...
What do you reckon?
That is just...
Corey, you'll eat anything, won't you?
Well, I
You're not too
apologise to
fussy.
our Scottish viewers, but I'm not feeling too well up
Come
here.
on.
Davidson.
Don't insult me, I'm half Scottish.
Davidson's here, Vinny.
All right, Here we go. And it's going to be Davidson to step in. You're right. Oh, first ball. I think he jams down on this.
No, that was surely his toe. Must have been going down leg because no
Must
one
have been.
appealed.
Yeah.
He beat him for pace, and I don't think Ben Davidson saw it.
Yeah, I'm Chad. He had one to spend and spent it pretty well.
Tell you what.
It's going down leg side.
Yeah, I'm appealing at least.
It's a proper sand shoe crusher, wasn't it, to finish the 8th over. Davidson knows he's alive. 97 for 3 after 8 overs.
Yeah, so a nice little platform for the Scottish 11 here to really tonk it at the back end as the lights coming into effect here.
Well, do you know how I know so much about Scottish food? My grandmother used to have a tea towel which had all of them on there, so I wanted her to cook them for me. I'll tell you some other things.
Go on.
Obviously, shortbread. You know what shortbread is? Type of biscuit.
See, that's what I can get around.
Shortbread's
now
good.
you're talking my language.
Another thing they do in Scotland. Okay, you'll either love this or you hate this. But first, we're going to go back to Rahula Mangal. It all happens in the 9th. Starts with a single. Davidson off the mark. Deep fried Mars bars.
Oh my word!
They
You've
do-
saved the evening. I'm back.
They do deep fried Mars
Is that
bars.
even a thing?
Yeah. It's a Scottish thing.
Why would you deep
So
fry
often when
Mars
you
bar?
buy fish and chips there,
Yeah.
then you finish with a deep fried Mars bar.
Oh,
Why not?
hold the horn.
Slow ball, but he gets it wrong. He's probably going to get lucky here because it's mishit so well.
So
it
what
won't
you
get
do,
outside the
you eat
circle.
haggis, you get a bit sick because it tastes awful, and you go to the deep fried
we're not-
Mars bar shop.
We're not saying that it tastes bad.
Is that just trying to add calories for no reason?
It does seem kind of outrageous.
What else can
but
you
it
deep
works.
fry?
You can deep fry anything.
A Kit Kat?
Yeah.
Well, the Kit Kats are awful, James.
Wouldn't mind some money from these sponsors, which aren't sponsors yet. But anyway.
Well, Garden's still there.
I'll give you black. Put it around here. You can normally get a good fryer, a proper fryer for your breakfast, maybe on a Sunday.
From now on, why don't we make national teams that visit have to bring a food from home? And it has to be the better one.
We could start that. We'll be eating haggis all week then. 100's up now for Scotland 11. Halfway through the 9th over. On the walk. Garden can't catch up with that.
Hey, credit to France here. Just in the last maybe 2.5 overs, they've come back okay. Garden struggling to get it away a little bit.
Some great things I'm looking up here.
I've got one from Johnny Howden's just jumped in the
Go
chat.
on.
Scottish square sausage.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
You've already got me. It's a square. It's what it says it is.
A square sausage.
Square sausage.
What is going
now,
on?
Now you're talking, John. Now you bring the memories back.
Oh,
Well, this one, I'd say it's a drop chance, but I think, yeah, luckily gets out the way of this one. Might have taken a bit of the bowler on the way
I
through.
think it clipped him. Oh, it could have been a lot worse. Well, there was nothing square about this sausage. Oh, it just hits the
He
bottom
thought
of his
about
boot.
going with the boot, and then he thought it's not a good idea.
Hold on, sausages aren't square. I can't
They
get...
can be. Do you want me to show you a Scottish square sausage?
Oh, it's like saying you like a circular Kit Kat. It's not a thing.
I did used to have them when I was young as well. Well,
Oh.
this is a bat thrower and a ball thrower. I don't know which went further. But I can tell you, the bat wasn't caught, the ball was.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the bat went way further than the ball. That's out of deep fine leg. Who's picking that up? And, well, Mangel, he picks up a wicket. And credit to France here, just staying in it.
Yeah, they are, and you're exactly right. I mean, the issue has been they haven't looked good with the bat at all. And Davidson, it's the old-fashioned caber toss from the Scots.
If the bat goes over the rope and the ball gets caught, is that still 6?
I don't think so.
Well, don't they do that in, isn't that a Scottish sport where they're flipping the big stick?
That's what I was talking about, the caber toss.
Well,
And
there
you're talking
you
about the
go.
Highland Games. Now you're going to get my Scottish side woken up. But Davidson, well, he does get his bat back, so that's a good thing.
So just for a brief moment, he forgot what sport he was playing and he's been dismissed for 2. I'll be disappointed with that. And, well, credit to this French side who aren't giving up the ghost just yet and pulling themselves back into this fixture.
Yeah, so Davidson a bit disappointed, I'm sure, with how that went, but still, Scotland past the 100 now, 101 for 4.
So hold on, just to wrap this food chat. So they've got black pudding, square sausage, haggis, and fried Mars bars.
I'm actually...
That's a
didn't think-
crazy food
I'm
list.
so glad we're talking food chat with the Scottish team last night, because I missed a trick last night to not talk about this stuff with you.
Well, actually, as that is absolutely mowed. Well, that is one of the bigger hits of the day. It's going to hit the cabin just before the
It does.
cabin.
Oh, look at that. Bounces off the hill. Well, I wish my golf was like this. That's Adrian Neal. He's getting ready to bowl.
Well, we're missing a big thing here, is that's a gorgeous shot for 6. I mean, he got a lot of elevation. Stop talking about the Scottish food. What about the French? Escargot,
Right.
frog's legs. Now we're talking.
I feel like we have to save that for the second innings, but you're not wrong.
I mean, these two teams might have the most weird diets that we've ever had on the air.
It's deep fried Mars bars versus Frog's legs. This time he doesn't get it quite right, but does he get enough? He does. Well, how about that from Garden? After hitting one into somebody else's garden, this one gets just over the ropes. He moves to 45.
Well, he's got a chance of a 50 here, Vinny, and you said they need a third pillar. He is becoming that third pillar.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you what a square sausage looks like.
I'll call this one in while
Yeah,
you
you
get that
can.
ready, because if he hits a 6 here, it's a 50. Does he have enough? No, it's going to be one bounce 4, so he moves on to 49. You can see Amjad, the captain, he's disappointed not to get there, but good striking, Vinny.
Yeah, he's doing the business at the moment.
A lawn sausage.
Lawn sausage? I didn't know it was called a lawn sausage. It's called a square sausage.
He plays for Spain, old Lawn Burns.
Yeah,
No, we should call him Sausage then.
yeah, sausage boy. I'm sure he'll love that. But, yeah, Garden, really impressed with his knock here.
Well, this is big for Scotland. Now they've got 3 batsmen in form. Will he get an international T10 50?
Well, he will, and he'll do it in style. Nails it straight. Well batted, Callum Garden. And he does lift his team up to a very good score. 55 not out, still with 2 balls to go.
Yeah.
And he scored it off just 23 balls. Very good strike rate of about 240, 5 Maximos, 4 fours. And I've really loved his footwork in this innings as well.
Well, he's been dominant against the spin. That's a gorgeous shot, a marvellous shot. And he'll be stoked with that. And you can see it means a bit to this Scottish. Get on your feet, boys. Everyone should be on their feet because they've struggled with the bat, let's be honest. He looks like he's going to be the third pillar with Jarvis and Naylor. And if he has a good week and the other two have a good week, Scotland will go close in this group.
We're probably run out of time to talk about Scottish Highland games, but I do want to come back to that at some point this week. Right now, it's Ahmed with some issues. He just throws his hands at this one, gets into the gap. Got to run for 2 here regardless. They will get easily because of that mishandling. I don't think you really want 3, to be honest. I think you're happy with Garden on strike. Yeah, so the caber toss is what you were talking about. It is huge. I don't know how big a caber is, but big. It can be 5 to 6 meters tall and weighs 40 to 70 kilograms.
Sounds like you're talking about Adrian Neil, the opening bowler for Scotland.
Not wrong. Anyway, last ball. Strap yourselves in. And guess what? This one is going to disappear as well. Well batted, Callum Garden. Maximo time, Scotland. 131 on the board. You can't see them letting that go. And that was all about Callum Garden, I think, in that innings. As he got his opportunity, and he certainly made the most of it. Scotland looked well on top at the halfway point of match 10.
Yeah, you have to make the opportunities count, and he's done exactly that. He'll end up on 63 not out. A marvellous innings. Let's take a quick look at the highlights. And, well, Scotland won the toss and elected to bat, and Sajjad was promoted to the top. He got a big one away early, a really nice shot for 6, and he was opening with the dangerous Jack Jarvis.
Yeah, he was. And, yeah, you're right, Sajjad. I liked what he was bringing to the table. I think you mentioned his intent. That was a really good catch to get Jarvis. Just one mishit is all you need to be in jeopardy, and it was Amjad that took the catch. But you can see this was a good old-fashioned Scottish fry-up. Unfortunately, you see, it was a bad call, really, from Naylor. And Sajjad, well, he went with the call. And he tried to turn him around, but it wasn't in time. So that was a disappointing end, but then this brought together these two, and it was Callum Garden that came to the crease to join Naylor, and this was the key partnership of this 10 overs.
Yeah, these two struck the ball fantastically, and the thing was they hit really nice pockets on the field on the offside. Loved watching them play. There was some diving back into the crease here. Both players putting their heart on the line for their countries. Great to see the sportsmanship in Group C so far as well. All the teams enjoying themselves. This was an opportunity, and it has to be said, the French fielding let them off the hook a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you miss chances against a good side, they make you pay, Vinny.
I think it's dropped on 5.38 and 40. It's a head in the hands job, as you'd imagine. This is another one that went down.
That's the toughest of the lot. That would have been a specky.
Look, it was travelling. Probably didn't have to dive forward as far either. It was probably carrying to him. Anyway, they're a bit bruised and battered, weren't they, the French, but their bowlers were too. That one was taken, which was the end of a very good knock from Naylor. Not his fault he was dropped. And talk about throwing the bat. That's exactly what Davidson was doing, but the ball went back to the bowler. And, well, not quite the caber toss. He had a bit of a smile as well. But, well, really, Garden finished with a bang, didn't he? They went back to the spin of Zayn Ahmed. A supersonic last over. 30 runs come off that last over, all off the bat of Callum Garden, who went from 33 to 63. And France, well, they're right up against the wall here. It's hard to see them finding
what's necessary to pull this off.
Yeah, credit to Scotland there. That's the first time we've seen someone else besides Jarvis and Naylor make runs, and it was that man Garden, 63 off 25. Naylor had a little bit of luck for 40 off 20. A quick fire 16 off 6 for Jarvis. And credit to the French bowlers, only 2 extras in there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Patrick Bateman in the comment section saying, we're seeing the future of Scottish cricket there. There's Jarvis as well as Naylor and Garden looking very good and pressing for higher honours. No doubt about that. They have stood up in this tournament so far. But you're right about the discipline of the bowling. But the fielding, I think, comes back to bite you. Although it's hard to criticise some of the bowlers. I think that Ramtulamungal tried hard, 1 for 23. Noman Amjad as well, 1 for 14. Rahulamungal, 1 for 17. But a couple really expensive. Dawud Ahmedzai, fairly expensive for 29. But Zain Ahmed, the left armour, going the journey. 47 off his 2 overs. Quick turnaround, last game of the day, so don't go too far. We'll be back in a few minutes. And when we do, we'll be seeing France trying to chase their first points of this ECC Group C. They will need 132. We'll see if they can do it after the break. Vinny Sandu, here, Mr. Maximo. Corey Ruckers is with me. We'll be back shortly with the final innings of the day in day 2 of Group C of this Dream 11 European Cricket Championship.